Hey, I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still repping 919. The city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve. I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up. Been on my grind since 2013. Now the way that I live, I feel like a king. 24 hours, I'm locked in. I'm feeling like Kobe, getting these rings.
They bring six. Smith underneath, and they get it. Thornton.
Nothing left on my bucket list, but I'm grinding like I'm still in the basement. Ain't nobody who working harder. Money tall like Wembanyama. They be talking for the sidelines while I'm on the court. I've been a baller. I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still repping 919. The city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve. I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up. Always knew my potential. Hop in the Porsche and there ain't no rental. Came a long way from studying dental. Now I got plaques inside of my bedroom. Already know where I've been headed. I took my risk and I don't regret it. They showing me love, I'm showing it back. With every song I've been getting better. I know nothing that's good come free. No 9 to 5, I work all week. Put in my time and it keep paying off. I've been getting paid every time I speak. Used to have dreams of getting these ends. Now I make the money go work for me. Can't stop now cause I got what I wanted. Ain't nothing I need in my life but peace. I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still repping 919. The city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve. I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up.
Salute Raider Nation. Appreciate y'all showing up. Salute to the chat. Salute to the mods in the chat. Salute to everybody here on the panel. Salute to Harvey. Salute to Mike. Salute to Will. Appreciate all you guys popping up, man. And then if anybody is salute to AJ for making that intro, man. If anybody's looking to get an intro made or graphics or anything, hit up my boy AJ with 24 graphics. He's always willing to help you out, and so always makes good stuff, good quality, good everything. So salute Rudy, salute OG Swave, man. Salute to all you guys out there. Appreciate it, man. If you guys want to give a shout out before we get started, feel free.
What's up, everybody out there? It's the #1 Raider Stunner. What? Salute Dustin. Salute Set Time Raider Mike. Salute Will. Salute Rudy out there watching in Raiderland. And let's get started with some Raider football talk.
Salute to you, Will. Salute to you, Harvey, and of course you, Dustin, as well. Salute to the chat. Going to try to do a good show for y'all. Stick around and see what happens. Got some shit to drop.
Salute to all y'all, man. It's a late night show, but here we are. We're already standing there. Conference championship week here.
Actual truth. Salute to James, man. Salute to everybody in the chat again. Salute to all you guys. Appreciate it. So basically, last night we were talking about Davis Webb and Kliff Kingsbury. Oh my God! So basically, we're talking about the two head coaches. I feel like we're going to narrow down because just like I talked about on last night's deal, I think they're going to try to go for an offensive coach because they're 100% going to draft Fernando. And I'm almost pretty sure from stuff that I've heard today, I'm almost 100% sure Fernando gets drafted. They're going to fix the line. They're going to add depth across the whole entire offense. They're going to get receivers, O-line, halfback. I think from what I heard, they're going to bring multiple receivers. So I'm pretty sure they're 100% going to put Fernando in here, and they are going to develop him right away. The coaching staff that we'll talk about tonight, which is I think is who they're going to try to go after. In my personal opinion, this is just my opinion. But outside of it, this is who I think they're going to try to target. But either way, we talked about Clint. We talked about Davis. Talked about how they're still in the playoffs, dude. That we won't. The earliest we'll be able to talk to them is on the 26th because they'll be in the bye week if they won going to the Super Bowl. If not, if whatever teams lose, they'll be done. Then we can talk to whoever we want. I've said it, and I'm going to keep saying it. I believe the candidate is most definitely still playing right now. I believe when they interviewed him in the first time that they've had some type of an agreement to get this person. Otherwise, I think they would already hire Jesse Minster, which everybody keeps saying, oh, they did a second interview. They're really high. They're going to – listen, they did it with Euro. They've done it with Euro and him both. They've got an interview with Mike McDaniels. McDaniels literally said – pulled every offer for the OC off, said that he's going to sign with the Chargers if the Raiders or Ravens don't hire him. So basically he's telling the Raiders that if you don't fucking hire me as a head coach, then I'm not going to come to your team with nobody. It doesn't matter. So he wants the head coaching job. That's what he wants to do. All right, go close my door. Come on, dude. Go. All right. All right, close the door. So basically, he told them like, "Hey, if you're not hiring me as a head coach, all right, if you're not hiring me as a head coach, I'm not coming to your team." So I think unless you miss on Kubiak, which I believe is their I think he was their number one target. I don't think he is their number one target. I think when it started out, I told everybody, I felt it was Brian Flores, and they had a good chance to get Dabo. But I said Brian Flores was somebody else. I was damn sure of it because of everything I heard. But then I also told you guys as time went on, I said, when you start interviewing a lot of these guys, man, people come in, they can most definitely change somebody's mind in the way in the direction that they want to go with the team. It's 100% facts. And the first person they interviewed was Davis Webb, and Davis Webb is literally set the standard, I believe. In my opinion, I believe that Davis Webb's interview was so good, especially for his age, preparation, game planning, how he knew everybody's name on the team. You can't look past that. In an interview, that's attention to detail. That's coming prepared. The guy's not even game scheming for a team. This guy is one of them people that he's going to know every motherfucker on every team. Literally, you just know that's the kind of guy that you're going to get right here. And when he comes in first, and then you start interviewing people let's just say you bring in Clint, right? And Clint is a great game player, and Clint has this. What if Clint don't come in with the same preparation, knowing all the players, having these schemes drawn up? Could he draw them up if they asked him yet? Those things matter to people like Tom Brady. So I believe when somebody sets the standard just X amount of high, and then you start bringing in everybody else, they fucking start doing that shit. They sit below the guy the whole time. Somebody has to come in and go, bing, raise that motherfucker straight up. It's got to lift that fucking thing right away. I believe Clint from everything I've heard, I do believe Clint has a shot for the team. But let's be real. He's been pegged in other teams. He has a good chance to go there too. I'm not going to say that he wouldn't be good with the Raiders, and I'm not going to say that I wouldn't take him. But I don't think that's the Raiders' plan. If I'm just going to be honest, I don't think it's the Raiders' plan, and I'm going to explain why. Salute, Al. Appreciate you, bro.
Salute, Phil.
What's up, Al?
What's up, man?
I'm going to explain why I believe Clint isn't going to be the guy, and why I believe it's going to be Davis Webb. I believe it's going to be Davis Webb, and I believe that they've been targeting Davis Webb from the very fucking beginning, and I believe that they have set their standard to Davis Webb to his standard, and I'm going to explain why. When you think about everything that's going on, okay, Davis Webb, when this whole thing started out, it was the reports of how he went in there. Nobody talked about nothing for a long time. No coaches have been spoken about. Nobody's been all there targeting. It's just assumptions by, other channels or YouTube channels. It's just them assuming. They just
Pushing
guess
narrative.
fucking deals, just like I'm guessing. I'm just doing the same thing. I have no insight to that this is going to be the deal. I'm guessing just like them, but I feel like they're guessing the wrong fucking way because they people out there have guessed Jesse Minster being locked here because of the connections with with and being with Spytech because of Michigan and all this. Okay, if you had a team put together and you were just asking this guy to run your defense, then I would 100% say that. And then if you had this Mike McDaniels coming in running your quarterback, then I would say I don't see any issue with that. But this is where I think stuff goes. Okay, when people brought up Webb, they were all talking about the biggest issue is taking Webb from just being a pass game coordinator. He's only been over there 3 years, all this stuff, and moving him to head coach. Like they just say, like they want to put people over the top of him. All these things that they couldn't see him just making a jump to there is what people talked about. And then, fuck, what do you know? Motherfuckers come out. They say, we don't care if he goes to the head coaching position. They don't give a shit if there's a guy above him or not because they're expecting the coach to take the lumps if they hire a young coach. So they don't care that how old he is, what he's done. They're caring about what staff will come. So people question his staff the whole entire time. You know, I've said I even made a video a while back. I made a video a while back, and I said the guy is very connected. He has a lot of people that are go depth in this deal. I said he can build easily a good staff. I've made posts and had a live about it. But this is what I think's more crazy. Kliff Kingsbury is supposedly was out there for a head coaching job. He's got head coaching interviews out there still, just like McDaniels, where he's basically saying, I'm open for business at head coach, but he said, if Davis Webb is to get a head coaching job, I will be his offensive coordinator. He has connections with them, I guess, through Texas Tech. I have no idea how. I could look it up, but I know
Really?
that he has connections with him. And he said that he would either go, he said 2 coaches that he would be an offensive coordinator for was Joe Brady and frickin' Davis Webb.
Wow.
Now, this is where I think stuff starts to get interesting, right? If you go get Clint, he has no history of build or developing a quarterback, rookie quarterback. He has zero history of it. Davis Webb has history of it pretty much the whole time he's been here in the NFL. Then you're going and getting you're also going and getting Kingsbury.
Kliff Kingsbury coached Davis Webb at Texas Tech.
Say again.
Kliff Kingsbury coached Davis Webb back at college.
Yeah. And so you go and get Kingsbury, which is a quarterback guru, builds all these guys, Baker, fuck, I can go on the list of him, but I could also debate that list too. But long story short, he does have a good list of supposedly quarterbacks that he's most, developed into. If you're adding Fernando in here, you're giving the guy the line, you're giving him another fucking halfback to go with Genty, you're giving him probably 2 more wide receivers to solidify your or you already have the tight ends, you get 2 offensive linemen, and you've already fixed your offense. So, and that's not even half your picks or half your money. So you can still go over and build up some of the defense. You're not going to be able to build the whole defense up, key deal, but it doesn't matter. I've talked about on this show that you need to pick one side of the ball or the other. And I've told everybody, I've said it 100 times on the show that if you're going to rebuild side of the ball and you can win now, it would be the offense. So if they go and get Fernando, they bring in Kingsbury to call the offense, but allow Davis Webb to develop him because he don't need to call the offense. He don't need to do none of that. He needs to spend time with Webb. Why? Kingsbury is able to run the offense in the scheme. Then I sat and thought about, well, who can be his defensive coordinator because you have Brian Flores out. A lot of good names are out. You got Raheem Morris, but he's probably going to go to the Niners, all due to the fact that if you don't get a head coaching job, he'll go back to the Niners because Saleh got hired to the Titans. The job's open right away. And then I started thinking about people and long story short, a lot of the good coaches are either getting re-signed back or have good options somewhere else. Jim Leonard was the one that stuck out because he was actually the one going to interview for the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator job, and probably still is or still has. And for Jeff leaving out of there, he was scheduled, and he's probably still scheduled to go over there. They can't go yet because they're still in the deal. But long story short, started thinking about it, like he would probably go over there. I'm not going to argue, but I do believe if they know that Webb is going to be leaving, he has a good connection with that guy. He has a really good connection with him. And I believe if Webb's going to be leaving, going to go be the coach of the Raiders, I believe he can pull that guy. And there's a few other guys I believe he can pull from over there too. But I've said it, the guy's got great connections with all kinds of people. So could he take the Green Bay job? I'm not going to say he can't, but I would say that Davis Webb has a chance to be able to pull this guy. They're all young. They're all great-minded people. This can change the whole entire core if you're allowing the Raiders to have the year down and everybody's fine. No fans are pissed off. Nobody's pissed off. They just call the game, and they're going to have to learn from the game in year one. But the defense, you got your quarterback coach, you have your fucking offensive coordinator. That's a good coordinator. They all come from a similar link deal, affiliated at some point or not. Like, it can most definitely work. And let's be real, name me a better core. Just name me a better core at this moment with what's left. I keep trying to say, like, who's Clint's fucking guys? Like, who the fuck is Clint's guys? And when you start watching people like Brian Flores get signed back to the Vikings, and we never try to offer him defense, job, nothing. Like, we got to start fucking thinking here, man. If we're going to run out of time if we sit here and think we're going to get Kubiak and he decides to go to Arizona or somewhere else, like, I don't know. Maybe he goes to because he got a good fucking team there, and they want an offensive role with Lamar.
Yeah. I think the one thing I hate to see as a Raider fan is, and I had this, when people kept saying, oh, let's go wait on Kubiak. Here's the deal. This is all I'm going to say about Kubiak's deal. If you wait on him, what happens at the last moment? If the Ravens or the other team that are interested, you don't think he's choosing the Ravens over us? You're fucking crazy. Like, I'm just going to be real. You're crazy.
And there's been plenty of links that say that Kubiak is leading the Ravens job over there. That's why they haven't made a hire.
Listen. I really in all honesty. Let's just be real. The one move that could really fuck us up for a while is if we waited on Kubiak and we missed on him. That would just be just a really mistake. And to me, I think you have a better shot with this other staff. I think you have a better shot to land Davis Webb. I think you have a better chance to land the defensive passing game coordinator for them, Jim Leonard. I think you can pull Kliff Kingsbury because he's already stated, like, hey, I've already worked with this guy. He's smart as hell. I'm gonna be his OC. And let's be real, you're gonna give Kliff Kingsbury the 3-year deal he wanted, because that's exactly why he didn't get hired here 2 years ago. That was the only reason he didn't get a 3-year deal. And now here he is, and he might become a Raider if we hire Davis Webb.
Yeah, he's most definitely going to be a Raider. He'll fucking come with Webb having a 5-year, him a 3-year, and I think they'll go from that deal. It's like I've said, I don't think at this point, if you're looking at why haven't the Raiders or the Ravens hired Jesse Minster yet? There's nothing stopping them.
Because they're probably waiting on playing. They're trying to wait on playing Kubiak.
They're waiting for Kubiak for sure. I know for damn sure.
Listen, I promise you, they're going to be the team to get him if it comes down to it.
He has all those things that are over there. They're most definitely waiting on Jesse Minster, Kubiak. They're most definitely.
Nah, man, they're going to be the team to get him, bro.
Lamar's breaking down. He's fucking getting to be 30 years old, dude. He's going to be getting hurt more. If they can bring him a fucking Clint in there that can control the way he runs the ball and stays in there more, they can help him out a lot better with the better system as he gets older. That's what he's going to need to do, is transition into more pass versus trying to look to run all the fucking time. That hire makes 100% more deal. And then are you telling me that we're going to go after Shula, with fucking LaFleur? Like, fuck that. I'm cool on that shit, dude. Like, I'll pass.
What did Shula prove this year? He didn't do anything this year.
I think the biggest deal is going to be go after Webb, go with Kubiak, and get fucking Jim Leonard. Like, all of it can match easily.
Okay, so
Right?
the only thing I've been saying too with him, the young staff, is, let's be real. Spytek basically said at that podium when they talked to him, when they were asking him questions and stuff, he basically admitted, hey man, we probably aren't going to win year one anyway. So to me, what's the point in not bringing in one of the youngest staffs in football and just say, fuck it, they're going to learn anyway. They're smart guys. And let's be real, you know, when when Davis Webb got to Denver, when he went there, let's be real, it wasn't a winning organization. He didn't get there when they were winning. He came in there when they were losing with Russ back in 2023 or 2022. He's been there for a few years. So, and the quarterback play has been, you know, better year by year. Yeah, I mean, Bo Nix has had his struggles this year, but again, I think at the end of the day, Davis Webb is still the right guy to hire. I think Kliff Kubiak is a very big question mark, because I'm just going to be real. I don't think there's a thing that you can point to and say, yeah, Kliff Kubiak would choose the Raiders over the fucking Ravens. Like, there's just no chance. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just being real about it. Like, the Ravens still legitimately have a top 10 roster in football. Let's not sit here and act like they don't. They just some trash. They got coached. They had a bad coaching year. They moved on from their coaching staff, and they'll probably hire Kliff Kubiak just for Lamar Jackson. I mean, I don't think that'd be perfect for Kliff Kubiak. For us, Davis Webb is kind of the guy you want, because him with Kliff running the offense, that can really I think the offense can be better than people think year one. Not saying it's going to lead to a lot of wins, but I think you're going to produce better as an offense than you think.
I mean, like I said, I think it's the only thing that makes the most logic at this point in time, where we're at with coaches and where we're going to be at with hires. I've said it. You can't mess this up. And if the Broncos find a way that Webb can find a way to fucking get Stanham to win this game, I would bet anything the Raiders are going to target the fuck out of this guy. And listen, there's a real big problem. Webb and Kubiak are pegged to us just as they are pegged to the Ravens. Both of them are both high candidates for the Ravens, and they're both high candidates here. I truly believe whatever one gets hired over there will be the motherfucker gets hired over here. But the difference is you can make Davis Webb feel welcome now. Like, you're going to get to interview him on the 26th if they find a way to beat these Patriots.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think so, but they'll be coming
I'll
home.
say this: if they win that game with Jarrett Stidham, there's no reason that you should have anybody above.
He's easily gonna make that fucking deal jump high as fuck. It's just facts. So, like I said, I mean, I believe it's going to be them. And just like I said, Clint doesn't have the staff to do what Davis and Kliff and Kingsbury can do. They don't have the staff. He has it, and that's the people.
I mean, who are fucking
help
Kubiak
these guys right now.
Yeah.
Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Really do appreciate all you guys. Salute to everybody, dude. Really do. We can go through in a minute. Rosetown, Justin, Rudy, what you're on here. Ozzy, you're back here. Everybody, really appreciate you guys popping up and commenting in the chat. We're gonna go through a bunch of questions here for a little while, and we're gonna basically just be asking on the staff how we feel about them. if we were to hire Jim Leonard with Webb, how Kliff can help develop the team, everything, you know. Like I'm just going to be honest, man. I don't see a better staff right now. So unless somebody can quit guessing on people because of a relation or a link or something, we got to figure out who the fucking staff is going to be, because people are getting hired left and right, and they're all good coaches, and they're going to take all top notch people. They're not just here. They're not here to just fucking get average coaching staff. I've said staff is connected very well. They're one of the best link trees in all football. This could easily be a very good staff. I said Vance Joseph the other deal because I felt they needed a head coach to oversee him. But when they said that they don't care if that's the case, then come on, like this is the better staff right here for the longevity of the Raiders. So long story short, we're gonna pop in. We got 16 questions. They're gonna obviously take a few hours. You know, hour, few hours, however it rolls. It usually takes quite a while. Long story short, I think I've got 16 questions here. We'll be asking staff questions, scheme fit questions, quarterback questions, timeline questions, and this is how it's going to work. I'm asked the question, and then we're going to go around in a circle. I know Harvey will be leaving here soon enough. I'll probably, and so on, but we're going to start in a circle. We'll go one way, and then I'm going to go back the same way. Nobody speak over nobody, and wait till it's their turn to speak. And don't try to veer off from what we're talking about. We don't have to go on to fucking past history. Just stay in topic, and let's see where we end up. All right. So the first question is going to be about the staff. Is Davis Webb ready to be an NFL head coach, or are the Raiders gambling on a resume instead of results? We can start with Harvey, and we'll go to Al, Ozzy, Will, Mike.
My opinion of Davis Webb, I think that the Raiders are gambling on a result, because I don't know too much about him, but I say with the history that he have, that they are gambling on a result.
Al.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Harvey. I mean, I think it's a gamble, but I'm kind of two minds when it comes to this thing, because I'm a fan of that saying, scared money don't make money, right? You got to sort of like roll the dice a little bit.
Scared people stay broke, bro.
For real. So you got to put your chips in. And I mean, if the guy does well in the interview, right, this is what I'm, sort of banking on. If he does well in the interview, they're asking him questions about how he'll, build the team, how he's going to compete in the division, how he's going to develop Mendoza. It looks like all arrows are pointing to Mendoza. So I think it's going to be all about how that coaching staff, their plan for supporting the young quarterback and how they're going to get pieces around them. If they're able to have a clear vision around that, and they're able to articulate that shit during the interview process, then, you fucking roll the dice, dude. I know the kid's 30 years old, he's green behind the ears or whatever, but it's not like the dude's in fucking Pampers, it's not like he's like finger painting and shit. So I mean, he's a grown-ass man at 30. I was doing a lot of shit. So if he could coach a football team, I'm all for it.
Ozzy.
Sorry, I just had to change windows each time it's my turn. It's multitasking. But yeah, I'm just kind of agreeing with Al on this. Like, scared money don't make money, like that concept. I think we're at a point, I've said it in the previous lives, we're at a point with this franchise where we've been outside of like 2 seasons, like 2016, 2021, really. Like, we pretty much, every other year, we pretty much suck. Like, let's be real about that. I hate to say it as a fan, but it is what it is. So I think we're at the point where we have to kind of roll the dice. Like, what is worse? Going with a guy like Webb and Kliff and taking a chance on that possibly being a great success, in that Webb is like, highly getting spoken about around the league. We know Kliff can like run offensive systems, and yeah, you can make arguments either way, whether he can develop a quarterback or not, and how his offense is when he doesn't have his starter in there. But is it better to roll the dice on that and maybe it works out for the best, or maybe it sucks, or we don't roll the dice on that and another organization does, and then they go to multiple fucking Super Bowls? I mean, how retarded would we look then? Like, that's the way I'm looking at it. So I think we're at that point where we've got to take a chance, man. I mean, if we can get two young guys in here, in Webb and Kliff, then I think we've got to go for that. Because we could build our own link tree from that. So that's my thoughts on it anyway.
Hell yeah. Will, what do you think?
All right. There we go. I'm with you. Sure, it can be. Everyone can view it as a gamble, and yeah, there is a gamble. He's 30 years old. But this is something I talked about with Dustin. I mean, some of these really successful coaches, man, there's a lot of them that have been hired under 30. Most notably in the NFL right now, Sean McVay. He was hired at the same fucking age. I don't know. It's something about these guys that are hired at younger ages. Mike Tomlin wasn't even that old. He was 35 when he got hired as a head coach. There are very, very successful head coaches that have been hired, and then they're hired younger. So I'm gonna say this. I think, kind of like, I'm just gonna go along with the spy tech thing, right? I mentioned it earlier. SpyTech mentioned, hey, we're just kind of preparing not to win year one. We're preparing to learn as we go and develop and really just go for the long haul. And it's correct. It's the correct mindset. It's the mindset we should have had last year. And I think hiring him, you have nothing to lose. It doesn't matter if you lose games, because guess what? We should expect that next year. Maybe even for the next 2 years, in terms of, I don't think we're going to, I think in 2 years we'll be better, but I think in year one, I think he's going to have some learning to do. But guess what? Every coach is going to have learning to do. So what is the point in not hiring this young staff and just saying, let them learn? Because guess what? If they're smart, they're going to learn and they're going to develop. And there's nothing saying that any of these all of these coaches actually have developed over time, and maybe Kliff over the last 2 years has regressed, but I think if he goes into a system with the Raiders, where guess what they're going to do? They're going to give him what he needs to succeed. So what's going to end up happening is he will have more success than what he did ultimately during his tenure in Washington. But again, that was all detailed due to injury. But yeah, I believe this is the right hire. It might be a gamble, but it's the gamble I'm willing to take, because if you think about the division, to me, it just got stronger. Eric Bieniemy is back in Kansas City. Guess what? Mike McDaniel is in LA with Jim Harbaugh, which is probably the scariest thing to think about as a Raider fan, because those two guys offensively is just insanity. So this division to me has gotten tougher. So why not go take part of your division away and say, listen, Denver, give me these two guys, because we know they can develop as coaches. They're young enough. They're both under the age of 40, so they're both going to develop over time, and you have nothing to lose with these guys developing over time. Plus, you have Tom Brady. You have John Spytek, who's smart. You can bring in other guys who have done it, and they can work with these guys to help them. So you have nothing to lose if you're Vegas. Let's be real. You're not going to pay the guy. You're not going to pay Davis Webb $20 million, so you have nothing to lose with this.
Hell yeah. Mike, what do you think?
Well, it's obvious. I mean, like everybody said before me, it's obviously a gamble. I mean, we all know it's a gamble. Is it a gamble? Is it an educated gamble, what?
Nothing. Keep going.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I heard something. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think he tried to talk. It's your turn, so go.
Yeah, I think it's a gamble. I think we all agreed it's a gamble. We know it's a gamble. He's 30 years old, for Christ's sake. We've gambled before, and it worked out pretty well with us. Look at John Madden, for example. I think I brought that up before, but so, and I think we're in a position, as long as, like, what I've been hearing is that as far as the Raiders are, we're not going in with the Pete Carroll attitude, like, yeah, we're going to win 10 games off the bat or everybody gets fired. They're going in what I'm hearing with the feeling of, you got a mulligan here, at least one mulligan, if not two. As long as we start seeing improvement, and so I think it's a gamble worth taking. It's not like he's going to be the only coach on the team. He's going to be surrounded by a bunch of coaches. Hopefully, that I, I know they've been saying that the head coach is going to pick out his staff or his other coaches, assistants, his uh, coordinators and stuff. So uh, he's going to be surrounded by talent. If you get somebody like Kingsbury, I'm still a little butthurt from what he did. Anyway, we'll let that slide. But yeah, it's a gamble, but I think it's one worth taking.
I agree. I mean, look, everybody knows that uh, either hire with Clint or Davis is going to be a gamble. You could only go by the production that Clint's done, and we don't really have much for Webb. But this is something people got to understand. Webb didn't just come pop up out of the fucking street as in just, hey, I only been in the NFL for 3 years. The dude's been through college. He's been through everything. He's
NFL.
obviously was good enough to play for the NFL and get a job by New York. And get back up there. He obviously was good enough to go through that deal. There's a big difference. He knew that he didn't want to go through and spend the next 10 years trying to be a backup to everybody, where he can go and be a coach right now and help people because he had a better grasp with it. When he was over there in New York, he was there with Brian Dabo. He fucking knows Brian Dabo's system. He knows how they run it. He knows all the deals. He leaves there. He goes over to the Broncos in 23, and he's done nothing but excel the whole entire time. The guy is a phenomenal coach. He gets along with people. He knows how to talk, develop. He has great chemistry with people. That's what you need. Sometimes people do come through the rankings a lot faster than other people because of those reasons. It doesn't matter if we hire Clint, and it doesn't matter if we hire David or Davis. They're both gambles. You can go by Clint and say, well, look at the way he's coaching. Good. Josh did that one fucking 6 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowls, and guess what?
17 years of it.
Work out either. So I ain't gonna discredit the guy because he hasn't gone nowhere yet. I'm just saying there's still the same chance that it can most definitely freaking happen. That is factual truth. And that is factual truth.
I think everyone left
And
is kind of a gamble.
yeah, I mean, I think yes. I mean,
Well, I mean, I think the only guy
McCarthy, outside of McCarthy, but
well, I think outside of like McCarthy and maybe McDermott, because I think McDermott's still a really good coach.
yeah,
I think
but he hasn't even said that he would even coach or anything.
No, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying. Yeah.
But like I said, if you were able to get this squad, you're able to work with this group. You're developing
and Dustin,
you're getting your line fixed. You have a guy that can coach. That's big fucking
Dustin.
right there.
Dustin, at one point that I wanted to say, I think we all agree here. Yes, it is a gamble. We got to roll the dice a little bit, but like as I mentioned, scared money don't make money. We already played this. We already played the safe route last year with Pete. He was supposed to be the safe choice, Super Bowl guy, culture guy, all this experience.
Didn't work out one bit.
National championship with USC, very, very full resume. We went the safe route. Like the safe route didn't work. And so I think at this point it's like, okay, you tried the safe route last year. That shit, blew up in our face. I mean, we go with like a young, hungry guy. Like, what better opportunity? If I'm fucking Davis Webb, 30 years old, I'm spending 22 hours of my 24-hour day there, dude. I'm probably sleeping in that bitch. I'm taking a sleeping bag and I'm sleeping at the Henderson
I'm sleeping
facility.
in my office. Fuck you.
Yeah, like I'm just like trying to grind it out and I'm trying to be successful. And I have that energy, that youthful energy to put in the hours of time. Because I think what's becoming pretty apparent in the NFL is coaching is a young man's game now. Like you don't really have a lot of these like older coaches really being successful. I don't know if there's like a disconnection with like the players or there's just like so much more time and effort that's needed to be successful as a coach. You actually kind of need like a younger guy with energy. And like, let's be real, like Pete had the energy of of an elderly person, dude. Like, he just did not have the energy to like put in the hours, I think, as well. And I think probably the players just saw him as like,
He had a nap
sort of
time
like
every day.
yeah, dude, he's fucking probably waking up having a fucking bottle of Metamucil or some shit.
Dude,
Like,
they're
who
going through an
knows?
hour of practice, and he's handing off the rest of the practice to Chip Kelly. He's like, man, I'm going to go sleep. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so my point is that coaching, in my view, in the NFL has shifted over to like a younger man's game.
It is. It is, because a
What do you
lot
guys
of teams
think?
have these younger coaches now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think at this point you're at a point where you have to gamble on people regardless. If you're not going to gamble, you're not going to get good. I mean, listen, we're gambling right now. We're like playing poker, dude, and we're about to go to the river. Like we're going to be asking for the river card here pretty soon, because this far in, there's only a certain amount of coaches left that could do anything that we're trying to do here. And I've said this, Tom Brady's not stupid. He's a very educated man. If he sat in on that meeting and seen Davis Webb and seen them, and he was watching these games and everything, he knows the guy's a very good coach, man. And he's only going to get better. And again, somebody else can take him. And again, who's to say if the Ravens do this here? So I would just say, I believe we can get Clint. I believe we can get Davis, and I think the right move would be to get Davis. That's my personal opinion. It's the way I'd go. So let's move on to the next question. Who actually runs the offense, Davis Webb or Kliff Kingsbury? And is that a problem? So Mike, starting with you, how do you think they're going to run the offense? Are they going to run the offense through Kliff and let him just run it, or is Davis going to run it? How do you think that'll go?
Well, okay. So you're saying Davis Webb is the head coach and Kliff is the OC. So who do I think will be calling the plays on offense?
Yep.
I think it'd be smart if they let Clint call them. To be honest with you, whether they will or not, I don't know. And then let's let Davis Webb. I mean, he was an assistant coach. He had two positions as an assistant coach, not even the coordinator. Let's not throw too much on his plate. And then we want to make him a head coach, and he's going to have a lot to deal with. He's going to have to learn to deal with the defense and stuff, deal with players. So
He is a
you don't
pass
want
game
you don't
coordinator. He is a
passing game coordinator and quarterback coach, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that. I mean, can he design plays? Hell yeah, I think he could design plays. As far as calling the plays, I think he needs to attend to learning how to be a head coach. And if you got a guy, why have Kubiak if you're not going to use him? And Kubiak calls a good running game, so I would rather see Kubiak calling the plays. They could both be helping scheme and design what they want to do, but on the field, Davis Webb, I don't want to. I mean, maybe the guy's ready for it, but I don't want to give him every freaking single job on the team right now. So I think we gotta break. He's 30 years old, man. Let's develop him just like a player.
Hell
That's my
yeah,
thoughts.
100% agree. Shad, salute, bro. Appreciate you showing up. Same question to you. Who actually runs the offense? Who actually would run the offense, Davis Webb or Kliff Kingsbury?
I believe Kingsbury will run the offense. I kind of agree with Sacktown with everything that he just said. Since Webb ain't been calling plays, but he's smart enough to know whatever Kingsbury is calling, he's smart enough to say, okay, yeah, that's the right play. But if it's a play situational football, he might be able to run something past Kingsbury, and Kingsbury might be like, okay, we could, that might be a better look. That might be a better play call for the moment. but I do believe Kingsbury will probably be the one calling the plays, and Webb will just oversee and kind of learn on the fly, because that's what he's pretty much gonna have to do, is learn on the fly when it comes to calling plays in the NFL. Like I said, I'm not saying he's not intelligent enough to know what's going on, calling plays and situational football and what's the right play with the right package and everything. But yeah, I think Kingsbury will probably call the plays, but Webb will probably just oversee and just make sure, if it's something that needs to be tweaked or changed, he'll let Kingsbury know, and then they'll probably discuss it over the headphones at that moment.
Hell yeah, I agree. Will, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be Kingsbury calling the plays, but I think Davis Webb, like you said earlier, Davis Webb is probably going to be the one working with the quarterback. He's going to be the one helping develop. And Davis Webb, yes, is smart enough to probably even help Kingsbury in some of the plays. Maybe he's going to see a play and see, like, maybe him and Kliff see something like, hey, we changed this up, and this play now is more effective. These guys are two brilliant offensive young minds, and the only way for these guys to develop, I get it. You guys want to develop them, but guess what? The NFL that we live in now this is the world we live in. You develop by getting your ass kicked, and whether you learn and whether you respond or not. And that's how you develop nowadays. A lot of these coaches got their ass kicked in the beginning. Now they're great coaches. And some of these guys, they went through this process. Davis Webb, I think Davis Webb will work with the quarterback to develop him. I think this will be Kliff Kingsbury calling the plays, because I think that's probably why he's going to come here. I think he's going to probably, get his name out there again. Because I think the Washington tenure first year, I think the first year kind of helped him, but then the second year he fell off. So now he's looking to rebuild his name after what happened. So I think it'll be him calling plays. I think that, there'll be certain plays that maybe Davis Webb steps in to call a play that he feels will be right. But I think he'll mainly be Kliff Kingsbury. And I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't think it will be a problem, because I think if Kliff Kingsbury said, if he out there saying stuff like, hey, I'm going to be his OC if he gets a head coaching job, they've probably talked at some point. So I don't know,
Yeah, just be random to pick Davis Webb out of everybody to.
Yeah, I just feel like at some point you guys were on the phone and you're like, Davis Webb told you, like, hey, man, I nailed this interview. There's a chance I got this. And he's like, you know what? I'll come over and I'll call offense and I'll help your team go right to winning. I'll help you, man, right away.
100%. He was already here, and he knows he has
because this is something else. This is something else. Is, like I said, Kliff is trying to rebuild his name. Not what better than the reunion to go back, say, like, fuck it. Now the Raiders give me the 3 years. Now I can come in here and I can help fix. I can call better plays than what's been here before. And the one thing we can offer up to him is saying, hey, you're going to run your offense, not Shane Waldron's sorry-ass offense.
Yeah, that's facts. All right, Will, what do you think?
You mean Ozzy?
Yeah, I mean Ozzy. Well, his name's Will. And,
yeah, we're both named Will, technically.
I didn't realize.
Technically.
I forgot.
That's why I go by Ozzy. This makes it easier. Man.
Ozzy, what do you think?
Ozzy's getting doxxed over here.
Fuck, not that made my real first name. Not just kidding.
My bad. Who cares if you
I don't give a fuck.
Your name? That's your problem.
I've got my real name on shit anyway. People already know what my real name is. Probably on my fucking social media somewhere. Who gives a fuck?
But what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreeing with what you guys have been saying, like what Will and Mike and Shard and everyone else has been saying, and that's that having Kingsbury call the plays, it's going to take the pressure off of Webb, especially in the first year when he's just becoming accustomed to being a head coach. And it's like we said before, when it comes to being a head coach, it's not just about play calling anyway. Like we've seen that with Josh McDaniels, for example, where he's had 2 head coaching stints, one in Denver, one with us, and he's a great play caller and everything, but not a great head coach. So that said, I think there's a lot of stuff that Webb can focus on in the first year as far as like, help building the team, the time management, like the clock management, which AP completely sucked at. And like a lot of other aspects that he can work on in the first year where Kliff is running the offense and running the offensive plays. Now, can Webb talk with Kliff about like designing plays that he's going to run? Yeah, sure. I have no issue with that. I think they will work together as far as designing the scheme and everything. But I just think it's going to be Kliff out there on the field actually calling the offense on during the game and stuff. So I think it'll kind of be like both their offense, but it'll be Kliff predominantly calling plays and run the offense during games. That way Webb can focus on other stuff. Like he'll be able to focus on the actual time management and other shit that's going on while Kliff is focusing on what play to call at what time and that kind of thing. And I think Webb will also learn a lot from Kliff during that time as well.
100% facts.
Yeah, that's how I see it going.
Al, what do you think?
I mean, I hope that it's a mixture of the offenses. I mean, I think one drawback that I see in Kliff's system is he's a little bit too pass happy. And I think if we want a rookie quarterback to be successful, you need to run like a little bit more of a balanced offense in which you incorporate more of the run. I see Davis Webb, pushing more for that, given the fact that he comes from the Sean Payton tree, which runs like a very balanced offense. So I would have liked to see more Davis Webb than Kliff, but given Kliff's experience, he might take the reins and it might be more of a Kliff-oriented offense. I mean, if we do go that route, I hope that we just develop the offensive line, and we have the weapons in place to be successful. My preference would be that it'd be like a Davis Webb run offense, or like a hybrid of the two, as opposed to just like a pure Kliff, air raid type offense.
You could just tell. You could have more of Davis Webb's run scheme and push his run scheme into the offense. Kind of just adjust the offense, make it where it's both of their offenses.
I just want to see creativity.
So
I need to see some creativity. When watching the Raiders play the last couple of years, and then you watch other teams play, and I'm like, why we don't do this? Why we don't run a play like this? Why we ain't doing this? Why we ain't being?
Well, I think also with the fact that Kliff was already a failed head coach, I think what I said earlier is you learn from getting your ass kicked. There's nothing saying that Kliff hasn't learned from what he did wrong. So now he could help maybe Davis Webb and be like, hey, don't make this mistake when you're being head coach. He can help guide him in the better direction if he truly learned from his experience being a failed head coach.
All right, so listen, when we're doing the question deal, when he gets you guys' turn to talk, he will talk. Because if we just keep rambling, people hopping in and out of the conversations, we're never going to get through the fucking questions. All right, so we get a few minutes to talk. We're going to speak what we talk in there, and then we're going to move into the next deal. Because anytime that people keep overgoing the deals, we have 16 questions. There's 6 people up here. We'll be here till tomorrow. You know what I mean? So let's try to stay in the task so we can keep going. At the end of the day, I think what'll happen is they're going to bring Davis Webb in here, and they're going to bring Kliff because, like they said earlier, he probably called and talked with them. He told them that, hey, I've got a good chance. Kingsbury knows that his system's probably been struggling in certain aspects of things. The kid's very smart. I don't think he has any intention to call plays at all. I think the reason that Tom Brady and them are going to bring him here and sole intention is for him to spend time with fucking Fernando and be able to develop him and train him, bring his confidence, get him up to speed. Let Kliff call the fucking offense and the team. Let him spend that time. Do I think they're going to iterate plays? Yes. In the offseason, they'll make their playbook. They'll have parts of Webb's in there. They're going to have parts of Kliff's in there. And I agree with what somebody said earlier about if they're in a certain deal and Webb sees something that he's like, hey, I think, hey, let's switch out, tell them in the deal, in the headset, and they switch. That's the kind of stuff I see, because you can't sit and develop not only the head coach, let alone the quarterback, if we're sitting there having him trying to go everywhere. Let him be the CEO, man. That's what he's going to do. You have a proven play caller in your offensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator is going to be a little bit more skeptic, but nobody gives a fuck because they're going to be a year off. If the kid doesn't look like he shows any type of growth going into next year, you can go and get somebody else. Like, you can go get somebody else for damn sure. So I think at the end of the day, it makes way more sense to be bringing them in, let them scheme their plays in the offseason, build the book, let Kliff run the offense, and let Davis do what he does best and work with the quarterback. Kliff is a great guy with quarterbacks too, but let him work with them when they're out on the field and they're doing things. Like, there needs to be a process, and Tom and them know this would probably be the right process. You can't mess this one up. And if you're getting Fernando, you can't mess him up either. So it's going to have to be somebody that knows how to gel with the guy and go from there. We'll move on to the next question. The next question is does hiring Kliff Kingsbury mean the Raiders are all in on offense or scared of trusting a first-time head coach? Al, we'll go with you.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good question. I think it's probably like a little bit of both. I'd probably imagine that Brady, Mark Davis, Spytek, the other folks in power who are making the decision to hire the next head coach, if they're thinking of getting Davis Webb, I mean, a big question mark there is, like, does this kid have the experience to actually take the reins of an entire organization? So they would probably like lean on, getting Kliff because he does bring that prior head coaching experience at both the collegiate level and the NFL level. So I think it would lean on that. And I also think it does indicate that the Raiders are going all in on offense. And I mean, the way that the NFL is set up, that's kind of like the direction that you got to go. And this is coming from me. Like, I'm a defensive guy. Like, I love defense. I love, defensive scheme, watching defensive games. Like, I could have fun watching a fucking 6-3 game, but like the way that the NFL is going, like, it needs to be oriented towards the offense. You even look at the rules, right? Like, basically every play is like a PI. You can't touch the quarterback. It's basketball on grass. So, I mean, at this point, in order to win, you got to orient your team and direct your team towards the offensive side of the football, especially if you're making the decision to draft Mendoza first overall. You got to put all the resources around him on the offensive side of the ball to make sure that the kid is successful. So I don't necessarily disagree with that, with that direction if they decide to just focus on the offense. And let's be real, like, I mean, our offense for the past couple of years has been just atrocious. I mean, we have no rushing attack. We can't score more than like 18 points a game. If we score 20, we're like happy and we're like throwing parties at our house because we scored 20 points. Like, it's kind of like fucking ridiculous, So I want to see more points on the board. And I think if we could get to that 27, 28 point mark average, we'll win a lot of football games.
No, I mean, that's facts. I mean, that's facts. I mean, our offense has been shit. Ozzy, what do you think?
So can you repeat the exact question? I just want to make sure I answer it correctly.
All right, it says that does hiring Kliff Kingsbury mean the Raiders are all in on offense or scared of trusting a first-time head coach?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. Like, it's definitely like we're all in on the offense because we've got an offensive head coach and then we're bringing in the OC as well, like a Nolan OC to help him out. And then I think it is. I don't think it's that they don't trust Webb per se. I just think that it's kind of like an insurance policy because Webb hasn't been an OC or anything before. So I think they're bringing him for that reason as well, just to help him out, like to help him learn, I guess, like we were talking about in the previous question. And I do think, though, bringing Kliff in is a good idea because I think we also need to like modernize our scheme when it comes to offense. Like, I think Shard was saying it before, where it's like sometimes you watch other teams play and it's like, oh, why didn't the Raiders ever call that kind of play and shit like that? So I think we do need to get modern with our offense. Like, we need to be like with today's NFL, like what's going on in NFL today, and then bringing in a guy like Webb, like a young guy like Webb, and then another young guy like Kliff. I think that's going to get the job done as far as development of this game. And then also that's going to translate, obviously, to developing the quarterback into a modern system as well.
That is facts. So I just want to ask everybody one question before Will does. I just want a quick answer real quick. The Raiders were going to hire Kliff Kingsbury just a few years ago. The only reason they get hired was because they wanted a 3-year deal and they wanted to target quarterback, which they weren't. So he just said, fuck it, he wasn't doing it, right? So the Raiders must have thought at that time his offense was good enough. Do you guys still believe Kliff's offense would be better than getting Clint Kubiak, but having Webb as the coach? Just a yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, I think Kliff's offense is good. They're both good. So
That's a yes for me.
I got a yes.
What do you think, Al? Will, what do you think? And you can start from yours.
Yes, but also, I believe that Tom Brady knows in the NFL. I think he knows that in the NFL, it's an offensive game. I think he wants an offensive-led staff. I don't think he wants to have the defensive head coach with the constant changeover on the offensive side of the staff. So I think for him, I think building the offensive staff up and having the offensive-led staff is what exactly he wanted from the beginning. Now, Brian Flores would have still been a good option, but him going this way, it means, hey, I'm going to go all offense. And B, I think Kliff Kingsbury, like I said, he's the guy that, hey, he failed the head coach. Let's bring him in. He knows what he did wrong. He's not a dumb guy. His offense has made changes over the time. So he's progressed and regressed at certain things. But overall, it's going to be a little bit of both because, yes, you want an offensive-led staff. And that's exactly what I think Brady and these guys talked about from the beginning. But, again, they don't want to just throw Davis Webb in here and have him doing everything right away. He doesn't have to call plays in his first year. He can have Kliff Kingsbury do it.
That is facts. I mean, that is facts. Shad, what do you think?
I believe that they're all in on the offense. I believe that they see the pieces that we have with Bowers and Genty. And man, I can't think of the wide receiver. The quick one we have. I can't think of his name right now.
Tucker.
Who? Yeah, Tucker. When Tucker had that game, what was it, like week 4 or week 5 where he like exploded? That they seen potential in him. And I think they really want to open up this offense and they want to give the ball to the playmakers. It's so many games that we watch when we're like, why is Genty ain't getting 17 to 20 carries? Why is Bowers not getting at least 12 targets? I think a lot of that had to do with whoever was calling the plays and not trying to get the ball into our playmakers' hands. When we watch other teams play, they get the ball to their playmakers, and the playmakers make plays. Bottom line, we don't do that. We haven't did that. First of all, we ain't really had no talent. Last year was the first time we've seen any type of talent from the Raiders in years with Bowers. We ain't seen a player like that on the team really just be that just explosive and playmaking. Then you add Genty, and I know a lot of people, they was on the fence with Genty, but I felt like we just didn't have the line, and he was getting hit most of the time in the backfield. But I can't wait for next season to see him break out and be the man that we all that believe in him, that he can be. But it's going to take an offensive mind to unlock these pieces, and even with Trey Tucker, to show people. And even with Jack Betch, like Betch at one point was averaging like 16 yards a catch. That says a whole lot. And I know he didn't get a lot of targets, but it's like, damn, when he caught the ball, he was averaging 16 yards a catch. And it ain't like he only had like 5 catches for the season. So a lot of his catches was run after the catch. So I'm excited to see a new young offensive mind call these exotic plays and watch our young team make plays. Because if we got it rolling, then we can have it rolling. We could have all types of mismatches. And that's without the number 1 wide receiver, which I don't think they're going to find that this year. I would not get Pickens to pair up with whatever quarterback we have. I think everybody got it. I don't like diva wide receivers with young quarterbacks, because I seen that happen with Devontae and AOC or whoever felt like they had to throw him the ball, even when he was not open. But back on topic, man, they're all in on offense on offense. They didn't really have a whole lot of defense interview when it came to the coach search. So they're all in on the offense. I think they want to. That's going to sell tickets. And the Raiders right now, they're about selling tickets and bringing a exciting to bring fans to Vegas and watch their games. They want them to, like who I believe was it Ghost that said man, I just forgot what I was about to say. But 27 points per game. We should be able to average 27 easy. At least 24. But 18 points a game is not cutting it. And ain't no fan in Vegas or LA or Oakland area is not trying to travel to Vegas to go watch that. I went to 2 games this year and it was hard to watch.
And Shad, is that how I pronounce your name? I don't want to I know
you can say Shad. You can say Shad. Yeah.
So Shad, the other thing I wanted to say is just like our kicker is also on notice. I don't really trust that guy anymore.
No, I don't trust Carlson either. I don't trust him either. And if we could get, I don't know what's going on with some of these kickers in college. The guy from Ole Miss that could kick 70-yard field goals, if he's coming out, you may want to get him in the 3rd round if he's available. If you could get him in I don't know. I don't want to wait because we got so many other holes that I feel like gotta come first. But if he's there in the 3rd, I would take him in the 3rd. If you could kick 70-yard field goals, because what I'm noticing in the league, a lot of these young kickers, 60 yards is almost like guaranteed now. I'm not gonna say guaranteed, but it's the new normal. Everybody's kicking 60, 65 yard field goals.
There's only 2 guys, but yeah.
But I think I seen a couple people in college, they was kicking like 60 in college. So, but like I said, if you could get somebody that could kick 70 yards, 65, yeah, we need that, because anytime you watch Carlson kick, it's not a layup, and you're like, when you start to think, oh, he's gonna miss this kick, then it's time to get a new kicker. When you feel like it ain't guaranteed, it's time to get a new kicker. And it'd be the chips, it'd be like the 35-yard kicks, the 40-yard kicks, and you're thinking to yourself like, man, I know this dude. I hope this dude don't miss.
Yeah, if you have to pray, if you got to pray for a 40-yard kick, you're in trouble.
Exactly. And we all was praying on 40-yard kicks this year. Like, dude, come on, just hit this kick. Please hit this kick. We need these points.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nope, I agree. But we gotta stay on the topic. Mike, what do you think? How do you think?
I kind of got I'm not sure what is the exact question, please? Again.
The exact question is does hiring Kliff Kingsbury mean the Raiders are all in on offense, or scared of trusting a first-time head coach?
I think they're is because all in the offense. Because I mean, especially if they're going Kliff Kingsbury and then hiring Davis Webb, they're definitely going in on the offense. But I hope they don't, you know, ignore the defense either. But we're gonna start knowing more in free agency when they start picking up players and what they plan on doing with them even before the draft. So, but yeah, if they hired Kingsbury and Davis, that would definitely be a sign that they're going all in on offense. And it would be nice to score average more than 14.8 points a game or whatever it was.
Yeah, facts. And we got to keep something in mind. I know we keep saying, like, if we hire Kingsbury, he chose to go with Webb. So we didn't sit and say because we're going to hire Webb that we want to go get him, directly. He chose to go with him as a package, supposedly, if it's to happen. So I do believe, yes, I think it would be a little bit of both, and this is why I think the Raiders would have no problem with it. But we also got to remember what Spytek said at the podium. He said the head coach will hire the staff. That's his job. So if the head coach comes in, he's hiring who he wants anyways. So I think when you're getting Kliff, you're getting a plus. Do I think it helps him as a first-time head coach? Fuck yeah. Who else? Well, I mean, what better guy can you get, or ask? So I think this works out perfect. I've always said when you're bringing in like Mike, who are they tandeming? Like tandems matter. And when you have a guy that knows you and knows the type of person you are and what you're going to do, I think it works perfectly. Like I've said, I think they are 100% all in on the offense. You have to be. If you're getting Fernando, you got to be able to develop him, fix the line, get another halfback, get wide receivers. You got to put in a scheme. You got a lot of shit to do. It's most definitely on that side of the ball with those two. They're bigger names and they're most definitely offensive led. So outside of that, going into the next question, is Jim Leonard the most important hire on the staff? More important than the OC? And we'll start with you, Mike.
I have no idea until you told me in the backstage who Jim Leonard was. I didn't even know who he was. So I'm gonna have to bow out of this question, or I'm gonna sit here and talk shit. I don't know who Jim Leonard is.
We could answer it in a different way. Is about the defensive coordinator, just in general, more important than the OC?
Yeah, that's a tough fucking question. No, I don't think it is. I don't think that's how they're looking at it. If this is the route they're going to take, I don't think it's as important. I still would like to bring up, Rob Leonard and put him at DC, but I know with new head coach and everything, they're going to change everybody, so he's gone.
They'll
But
probably retain him, man. They'll probably retain him for a position coach for sure. I mean, I've always
yeah,
said
maybe,
Mark always keeps one fucking guy like it's his guy, and this is
yeah,
the dude right here. I guarantee it,
yeah.
man. Like,
Well, I would like that. Maybe give him an elevated title too. Defensive coordinator, assistant, DC. Some kind of thing. Give him a raise and stuff. I would like that, but I don't know enough about Leonard to know if that's the guy I want replacing Rob Leonard. Because I mean, we don't, because we're probably going to lose Patrick Graham this year. Although I haven't heard any interviews with him. With all the teams that are looking for uh, coaches, has anybody heard anything about Patrick Graham
he's
getting
just been
interviewed?
the head coach interview for Miami, but they already hired.
Right,
They're probably
right.
going to
That was
be
a long
looking
time
for.
ago too.
Yeah, and they'll probably be looking for new defensive coordinators. He's probably going to land a defensive coordinator job. So he also interviewed for the Washington. So depending on if anybody's been hired
Yeah.
there yet for DC, but he's gonna end up somewhere else. I don't think the Raiders retain him at all. I don't. I
Yeah.
think
I don't think they want to. Yeah.
I think it's to start fresh and let the coach decide who he wants in that spot.
Mm, yeah. So yeah, I mean, of course, I'm a more defensive minded person myself. That's what I played when I played youth football, which is all I ever played was youth football. But that's what I was. I was a linebacker, my little ass, and I just always watched the defense more. All of my jerseys are defense. I have no offensive jerseys, offense jerseys, but I just like the defense more, and I think it's extremely important. But I just seems like they're focusing on the offense more, and I don't just. I would like to keep Rob Leonard on the team at least somewhere, give him an elevator role for the defense.
Hell yeah. What was it? Shad? Is that how you said he pronounced it? Shad?
Yeah.
So how, do you think the defensive position is more important than the OC?
Okay.
Do you believe the DC is more important than the OC?
Defense win championships. But for our team, I think the OC is going to be more important just because of the pieces we have. We got more pieces on offense than what we do on defense. Let's just be frank. All we got is Crosby. If we had more pieces on defense, then I would say yes, the defense is more important. But right now we got more pieces on offense.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. William, what do you think?
I think the defense coordinator isn't more important than the offense coordinator. I think that we have more pieces on offense that we truly have to develop because of how dumb Carroll and this offensive staff were just this year. They were so inept that we're now sitting here with a young offensive core that really wasn't developed. Some of them didn't really even play. They let Tommy Millett go for the year. They let Cam Miller walk out the door without anything. They have a lot of offensive pieces that, like even like Dante Thornton, didn't really develop for crap this year. Jack Besh, well, he made some really good plays and then disappeared. Didn't even play. So I don't know, man. We had a lot of young guys on offense that we have to develop. So I think if you have Kliff Kingsbury and you have Davis Webb, I think that's more important. I think, but I do think, like what you said, Dustin, is I do believe if we do hire Davis Webb, I do believe the OC, I'm almost like positive, will be Kliff Kingsbury. So I think it's almost guaranteed. I think he can still go and get Jim Leonard. So I wouldn't say it's out of the question regardless of that, but I mean, I'd also be opposed to seeing how Rob Leonard kind of interviews in house. I mean, he's been here for what, 2-3 years now.
Yep.
So I mean, maybe give him an interview. I mean, I don't think they gave or even. They're probably not even going to. Well, they have to hire their coach first. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what Davis Webb thinks. Maybe if he thinks like, hey, I want to add to the offensive, the young staff that we have because Rob Leonard isn't above 40, so he's young. He's in 32, isn't he?
I don't know his age, but I do know he is young.
I think that honestly probably would be a good move. I mean, what do you have to lose to have such a young staff? I mean, regardless, whoever they hire, I think they're going to get it right on both sides of the staff. I think Davis Webb will be a great head coach, and I do think Las Vegas is an attractive spot to a degree if we get the right coaching staff. And I think with Davis Webb, I think he has a lot of connections, like you said, Dustin. I don't think we run out of connections here. So I think whoever he hires, I'm going to trust him. And I know it. We all know it. It's going to be more than a 1-year process to fix it, but we have to fix what we've broken over these last 3 years.
That's facts. That's facts. Ozzy, what do you think?
Sorry, man. I just had to go from window to window when I go to unmute my mic. Yeah, I think the offensive coordinator matters more. I mean, every team, like every successful team anyway, in the NFL right now is pretty much run through the offense in one degree or another. Like if we look at like the Seahawks and the Rams, their offense is high powered as fuck. So I mean, we've got to be real about it. We've got to build, like we said before, we've got to build the offense first. So I think the offensive coordinator is more important than the defensive coordinator. Just providing that the offense is able to carry the defense, so to speak, as you rebuild the defense after building the offense, kind of deal. And I have no problem with it. I think if we think about it, that's what Gruden was pretty much doing before he got shit canned and fucking scapegoated out of the fucking league. The first 4 years was pretty much building the offense first, and then he kind of started to focus more on the defense when he shit canned Paul Gunther for Gus Bradley. Like that's when he was gonna start building the defense properly. Finally, like you can add pieces here and there, but he was definitely focused on the offense more than the defense in the beginning, and I think that's the right way to do it. And like Will was saying, is that if you have, like, if you know who you have a good OC, it doesn't matter about having a young staff. I mean, that's probably better for us in a lot of ways because that means it's less likely other teams are going to poach them. So, and again, it goes back to what I said earlier: is we can build our own link tree from that because we're bringing like young staff together. That's kind of like developing their own shit, no matter of speaking. So it might, like we were saying earlier, it could be a mixture of, I think it was Will, I think might have said it, where we have a mixture of both of their identities on the offense with Kliff and Webb. The same can be said with the defense, like having its own identity that might be different from other things being run around the league. And sometimes having that is what can set you apart. So that's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I would just say, like, that in the near future, Kingsbury will leave to go be a head coach somewhere else. But it's not going to hurt us because that's why Davis Webb is going to be helping develop Fernando, and he will assume the play calling at some point down the road in the next 2 to 3 years. So we don't lose out in that deal. And if we're going with the young DC, depending on who it may be or who we bring here, you never know. We might go with an older guy, man, that has connections with Sean that just wants to be a defensive coordinator like Spagnuolo and has no intention to try to go get hired by any other team. So outside of that, like I say, I think at the end of the day, you can have some good options. Al, what do you think? Al, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, dude. I was trying to find the unmute button. I was gonna say, I think we should focus on the offense. Even though I agree with what Shad said in terms of like the defense winning championships, I'm a firm believer in that. But I think we need to bolster this offense and we need to get more points on the board because, we've been one of the most pathetic offenses in the entire NFL for the past 2-3 years. We need to get this, ship in the right direction. And I think it starts with the offense. That being said, we do need a quality defensive coordinator, especially in light of the division that we're in. Like we're in a hellish division. We're not in the fucking NFC South where 8 games or 9 games are going to get you in the playoffs. I think after the NFC West, this is the toughest division in football. And you need to be able to stop offenses, right? Like I think Mahomes is going to be back. Maybe not at the beginning of the year, but I think Andy Reid's going to have a game plan in place for
With
Kansas
Eric
City to
Bieniemy?
come back.
Oh.
Yeah, with Eric Bieniemy, they're going to fucking cook. I think the Chargers are going to cook with Mike McDaniel. Like they're going to fucking cook, dude. And then obviously you have Denver. And then you have Denver, right? And so you need a defense to keep these offenses from putting up 28, 30, 32 points against you, or else you're not going to win those football games. I was also going to say, when it comes to Jim Leonard in particular, I think if we hire that guy, that pretty much like signals, I believe, the demise of Max Crosby. And the reason for that is Jim Leonard runs a 3-4 base. Max Crosby is really a 4-3 hand in the dirt D-end. He doesn't really fit that 3-4, scheme, although I think he can rush, standing up without the hand in the ground. it's not really his comfort zone. So I think if you bring a guy like that or any defensive coordinator from like the Vic Fangio tree, Crosby just doesn't really fit from like a schematic standpoint. That being said, I also think just Crosby should, we should trade him and get some assets for him. I mean, you guys know my position on that. We just need to rebuild this bitch from
Trade him.
the ground up and
I've been
sort of
saying,
strip it down to its studs.
trade him.
But anyways, that's my take on it. Like we need a defensive coordinator that's going to keep these other offenses honest. But I really do think ultimately we got to put up more points too.
Hey, the Big Fangio tree is one of the best defenses in all football, man.
It's fire, dude. Yeah, like I'm all in favor of it. I'm more in favor of the 3-4 base because you could run more exotic shit off of it.
It's facts. And when you run with a guy, and this is something that people like would have to realize, this is a young core. They'll stay together for multiple years. He's not going to look to take a job next year somewhere else. Like if he gets a head coaching job, that might be different. But we can see our defensive coordinator being here for multiple years before he leaves. It's Kingsbury that'll be the one that you'll have to worry about leaving the soonest. And I know that they're prepared for it from the get-go because he probably made a deal with them that, hey, if I come there, I'll help you for the first few years. I won't bail on you. I'll take the 3-year contract unless a fucking good job comes, like a fucking Niners, like an organizational job comes about, then I'll go. But outside, he's not going to tell him he's going to come with them and bail on him right away. He's not going to come to the meeting and say, hey, we're going to develop this quarterback and then fucking leave on him. I don't see him doing that. See, people said that last year about Kliff when he had Jaden and they were looking for a head coach and he turned it down. He said, I'm staying here and I'm going to run it back with them. So, and then he still got head coaching job interviews, even with the team being bad, but they moved on from him. And there's a few places that are still looking, but what better to go with somebody you train, you develop, and have connection with.
Dustin, like quick point here too. I heard Shad say earlier, which I agree with. We need more creativity on offense. We also need more creativity on defense, and that's why I think you can run more creative, exotic shit off of a 3-4 base. One of the things that I found extremely frustrating last year, in particular, was we were running the same fucking defensive cover 3, cover 1 every single game, dude. We were just getting picked apart. And Pete was running his shit from like 2011. He was running his shit from like 2011, 2012. And he ended up with pie on his face because before the season started, if you remember, he said the guys we had in our secondary was better than the Legion of Boom.
Yep, that's facts.
He fucking said that, bro. Like,
it's mental as fuck.
Like that shit's wild.
That
like,
should have elevated the first signs of the mental right there.
Like, I'm not even playing, but like they actually should have fired him after he said that, dude. Like they should have actually been like, hey, this dude doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Like he's definitely like slowed down quite a bit. But anyways, I got sick and tired of seeing the cover 1, cover 3. And you could just imagine if you're the offensive coordinator game playing against the Raiders last year, you're licking your chops, dude.
Yeah.
You have your cover 1 beaters, your cover 3 beaters, and you're going to put up 28, 29 points.
That's facts. I mean, that's facts. I mean, you got to think too that it is a good signal that Max may leave, but when he runs a multi-D defense too, so he runs a 3-4-4-3. He's more out of a 3-4 scheme. Bears, so on. Don't get me wrong, their scheme is really, really good. So he's a young guy. I know he'd do very good here. Max showed this year when they played him into coverage and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say he was the greatest, but if he had to stand up on the linebacker side, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't get around a guy. I mean, Max's favorite deal is a spin move off a dude. He powerhouses guys, so I think he would still be able to come off the edge if it is. But I still think the Raiders would be smarter for the draft capital, but he's injured too, so I don't know how that. I think once we get it more closer to the season, 5-6 months down the road, because that's where he's going to be at. I think then we can start looking at it and see where he actually is. But I would say I would most definitely look in the next few years, if not this year. And look, next year you can get rid of him, Gino, and everybody for 0 dead cap on all the players. So it could be just a strategic way that they go about this year in general. But yeah, I think I agree. I've said it 100 times. I think if you can get the draft capital, when he said that he wanted it to trade him over AP, I said, fuck, give me 2, 3 first rounds. This guy go bye-bye. Like I said, straight up, nobody's above the shield, man. It's just facts.
So let me ask you this, Dustin. Do you think Max actually has any say this time around in terms of who the coach is?
I actually have a video of what he was talking about, and I don't fucking think he does. I don't think they're asking him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he may be in a loop to an extent because of who he is, but I sure in the hell know they ain't Lamar Jackson him to the interviews to talk about the head coach. I know that for damn sure. So, and if that was the case, why would they be targeting an offensive-minded coach? Don't you think they would be targeting defensive mind at that point? So I would say no. But let's move on to the next conversation, or the topic is, or question is if this staff fails, who gets blamed first, Webb, Kliff, or the front office? And Al, will start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good question. I think if I'm looking at this, from a power structure in terms of who hires who, I think it ultimately had to be the front office, and by that I mean like Spytek, because I'm assuming that Spytek, is going to make the ultimate decision in terms of who he hires as head coach. And if he ends up hiring Webb and Kliff and the other coaches, I think the buck stops with Spytek initially, and then it's like the head coach, because the head coach hires the staff, right? The defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, the position coaches. But I would say the bulk of the blame would have to fall on the front office, which would mean Spytek, and to some extent Brady as well, given the fact that, Mark made it public that Brady would be involved in football decisions. But primarily it'd be the front office. That's what I think.
Hey, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Really do appreciate all you guys stopping by, man. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for commenting and talking about football in the chat. Really do appreciate it, guys. No, I think you're right, man. I mean, I think Ozzy, what do you think?
Could you please repeat the exact question?
If this staff fails, who gets blamed first, Webb, Kliff, or the front office?
I think the front office. I mean, because they're like Brady and Spytek are the ones picking the coaches this time, so I think a lot of the blame will lie with them. I also think it depends on, if there's progression within the offense, but the defense sucks, or vice versa, then it might fall on Kliff or something. Like if the offense is sucking, but the overall team, there's other aspects of the team that are improving, then I think it will fall on Kliff. But I think ultimately it's gotta fall on the people that are putting the staff together. Because it's if it's Brady and Spytek that are saying okay, we're going to pick this head coach and put him with this OC, and we're going to go get this DC. It's not like the head coach is the one picking the staff. It's them picking the staff and putting them together. So, I mean, that's how I kind of see it going, especially with the news headlines. It definitely probably place a lot of blame on the front office. That's what I think anyway. It depends on a lot of variables, though. I mean, if we get a shit quarterback or whatever and they don't play well, then, fans will fucking say one thing, media will say another thing. I think there'll be a lot of blame going around, but I think ultimately it has to fall in the hands of the management. I mean, that's how it should be, really, unless it's just something outrageous like a Pete Carroll situation, a head coach, or a fucking terrible OC or something like that. Then it might fall on them, but ultimately Brady and Spytek will probably take the most blame.
That is facts. Shad, what do you think? Shad, you hear me?
He
Yeah,
froze.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there it goes.
I believe it's going. I believe it'll be on management. It will be on. It'll be on Spy Tech. Um, unless Brady is overriding him and saying this is what he wants, then I believe Spy Tech will probably get another year. And if that's the case, then Brady just needs to stay up out of just be more of a consultant and not somebody that's making the final say. If Brady is using Spy Tech like a puppet, then that's not fair to Spy Tech. And that it won't be fair to Spy Tech. But if Spy Tech is making all the calls and making the moves, then it's gonna be on him.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a firm believer, and it starts at the top. So, uh, although Ossie did bring up a good point. I mean, it's like everybody else is excelling, but the offensive coordinator, that makes you wonder what's going on in that area, So, but the one thing we haven't had is a proper pecking order for the Raiders for years. So that's got to be established. When you establish that, if that's the way that they're going to go, then you have to start at the top to find out where the problem is. It always, you know, shit rolls downhill, but blame goes up, up the ranks. That's where you start at. So, yeah, management. And I'm including Tom Brady in that. I mean, I know he's minority order, but I consider him part of the front office because he
Yeah,
is making, you know, not making decisions. I'm not saying that, but he is also offering advice at least and being a consult or whatever. So as far as I'm concerned, he's part of the front office.
factual truth. And for the people out there that don't have a brain, nobody's blaming nobody. It's a question. If you don't know how to answer questions, then probably shouldn't be in the chat. Um, you know, the guy that says if the Raiders don't get Kubiak, a combo of Shula and OC LaFleur would be cool. Look, I don't think it'd be LaFleur, period, because he's never developed a quarterback. He's never went out there and developed one, and whoever this coach is has to be able to develop a quarterback. So that's just going to be factual truth. He was with Zach Wilson with the Jets and did jack shit with them. So I don't think they'll go and get him and depend on their future to develop Fernando. I just cannot see that. But outside of it, I agree. I think it's gonna be the Spy Tech and Tom Brady. They got full control. They're the ones going out here. They're the ones making the interviews. They're the one interviewing the people. It's going to be 100% back on them. And like I said, only in 5 years we'll tell, because I'm pretty sure if they hire him, he's going to get a 5-year contract in order to develop the team 100%. So we'll get into basically scheme fit questions. So next question is going to be, can Kliff Kingsbury's offense actually work in the AFC West? Mike, we'll start with you.
Say the question again. I was reading some dumbass's comments. I'm sorry.
Basically, it says, can Kliff Kingsbury's offense actually work in the AFC West?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it can. Um, uh, he runs more of a pass happy, but yet balanced thing. It can work. Um, just not sure. I mean, if we get an offensive line, it can work with us. But yeah, it can work. Why not? Why wouldn't it? I mean, any kind of system can work if you have the right personnel and the right coaches behind them or coaching them, the system can work. So yeah,
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, what do you think, Shad? What do you think?
I believe the system can work. Um, Especially if we're running the football. We got a premier running back. So if he's gonna run the football and throw to the tight end, yeah, I believe it can work. It's gonna have to work. If he can't get it to work, I don't know if anybody else can get it to work. Because it ain't like Kliff ain't his scheme is not it's not complicated. You know, he's gonna put playmakers in space and let them make plays.
That's facts. Ozzy, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think this offense can work. I mean, we kind of saw what he's done with Jaden Daniels, so I most definitely think it can work over here. The only question I would have is because Daniels is more of a mobile quarterback, whereas if we go and draft Fernando, he has some mobility, but I wouldn't say to the same extent as Daniels. But we'll have to see. I mean, he made that pretty good run in the championship game where he dove it in for the touchdown, so the mobility is there. But we'll see. I just hope I hope Kliff can kind of like just fix certain things with wanting to have the quarterback in the pocket a bit more just to protect his longevity. But we'll see. I definitely think it can definitely work though, because he comes from that air raid kind of offense from what I've seen. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's how it looks. So I think it can most definitely work.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, that's facts. The only reason I don't think, Raiders down, the Mac Jones, right? I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to want to let us take Mac Jones for the next year, probably not, and take him off their roster, which is a great backup for them because Purdy gets hurt, and us just play him half a year and not do nothing with him. I think Kyle's going to trade Mac Jones to a team that's going to start him and keep him as the starter, not have the intention to play him over there and then have a rookie take over his job. So I don't think he would trade him to Kubiak or us just for those reasons, because he's only 25 years old, man, and he's still a really good player. So I think you're just ruining a guy's career. I think you're ruining a guy's career when you're going to bring him here just to bench him again. Like, I don't think that makes much sense in my opinion. Why don't you just keep Aiden O'Connell or just keep Geno? I mean, at the end of the day, probably makes more sense keeping Geno. Do I think Kliff's offense can work here? Hell yeah, I do. I mean, let's be real, man. They were able to play a pretty good run game over there in Washington this year. You have Janty, man, that showed you that he can not only run the ball, but he can catch the ball. I think most definitely having a hybrid between the stuff that Davis Webb has learned and a mixture with Kingsbury's, I think they're going to do a lot of good things. I mean, Kingsbury knows he's kind of at a point in his career where he's going to have to revamp his offense, because don't forget, Washington let him go at the end of the year. So it wasn't just because he was, I'm going to go look for a head coaching job. Washington released him, like they cut him and the other guy. So you always got to keep that in mind. And you got to think about when Jaden got hurt, how well Mariota performed. Look how well he worked with John. Like, I think when Kingsbury focuses on one person, he can do really good. I think most definitely. And that's all we're going to ask him to do here now. He's not going to have to worry about nobody else. Aiden's a good backup, man. They'll probably re-sign him, dude. They'll release the Geno next year. I think they'll pay Geno his $8 million this year, and I think they'll keep him because if you're putting them in Kliff's, you're getting this O-line, all this stuff. What do the Raiders care if they've already paid them the money? They pay the $8 million, or you go eat $18 million. Like, I mean, you eat $18 million and save $8 million, or you just pay the damn $8 million, keep him on the roster, let Fernando compete against him in there. And the second that Geno falters at any point in that season, this isn't Pete Carroll running the team no more. The minute that Geno falters in the season and can't, you pull him and you put Fernando. I just don't know how fast Fernando can learn. I don't know how fast he would learn the system. So I wouldn't say, hey man, let's go draft him and let's just start him right away and ruin him. Like, I wouldn't do that. Geno already sucks. He's already ruined. So just let him play. I don't see any reason to go do this to Fernando. So just put him in there, let him play behind the deal. If he does good, then great. We play Fernando next year. We cut Geno for 0 dead cap and we move the hell on. Like, he's got paid. We got our 2 years. Adios, and then Fernando starts next year, fresh right out the gate, him being the starter day one, which would probably be the ideal thing. That's probably ideal what we would want as a franchise to do. I think at the end of the day, if in worst case scenario is he falters mid-season, we pull him out and then we start him, like that's the way I would see it, for me. And that's how I would do it. So that's what I would do. And just like I've said, I think Kliff Kingsbury's offense can most definitely be able to compete inside here. I've said Sean Payton's offense is one of the best offenses in all of football. So if they build him the O-line like they say they will and get the players to fix that offense, and that's where the money goes this year and picks go to fix the offense, I mean, he probably would be a damn good quarterback here. But if we're bringing him here with what we have right now, I would say, fuck no, go get Trinidad Chambers. Let him be the guy back there that can run around and throw the ball. That's who's going to get away from the pressure. That's who's going to do better on this team. But if you're saying Tom's like, hey, man, we can give him an O-line and he can be like I was because he processes faster. He's a great pocket passer. Over time, he'll develop in certain aspects and shit, but this is what we want to focus on right now. Then that's what the Raiders do. They focus on that section and they develop that and they give him the best chance he can going out the gate. Otherwise, he's going to get fucked up and you're just going to ruin another quarterback. So outside of that, we'll just move on to the next question. Let me see this. See, I don't know if you guys would want to answer. I'll say it if you don't want to answer on this one. We can move on because I know, like you said earlier, you don't know much about Jim. Does Jim Leonard disciplined, disguised, heavy defense finally fix the Raiders' identity problem?
Yeah, I'll have to pass. I don't know what his defense scheme is.
Ozzy, what do you think?
Sorry, please repeat the question exactly.
Does Jim Leonard's disciplined, disguised, heavy defense finally fix the Raiders' problem? We can move on because I mean that's just
I probably wouldn't know as much about that.
I know the guy, and that is a preference that I feel they can hire. So that's just
I'd have to look into it.
And I would say
I like the idea. I like the idea.
I would say fuck yeah. I've said this. If you don't get Averill Reese, you can get a guy like him, or you can get those players in those positions because you're not going to get a guy like him. But long story short, if you can run into that scheme and have those players, you can most definitely, hurt some people in that system. I've said it. Vic Fangio's system is one of the most dominant systems in all football. And if it's coached right, it's very tough defense to be able to compete against. So I would say, yes, it would fix it. Could he call it good enough to fix it? That would probably be the question. Is this staff? Well, let me make sure. So is this staff too quiet or cerebral for the Raiders brand, or exactly what the franchise needs? Ozzy,
Oh, sorry, repeat that. I'm just trying to. Sorry.
is this staff too quiet or too quiet and cerebral for the Raiders brand, or exactly what the franchise needs?
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I can see Webb being that kind of genius, cerebral kind of guy, but he's. I don't think so, man. I mean, he's played quarterback, so I feel like if you played quarterback in college and the NFL, you have to have a voice in order to do that. Like, you can't run even a college team, man. You got to be able to lead your offense. So I think if push comes to shove, or if Webb needs to establish some kind of like locker room presence, I'm pretty positive he can do that being an ex quarterback. Like that's how I'd see it. I see Kliff more as that guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, his last stint as a head coach, Kliff didn't seem all like he's. I don't know. He shows some energy on the sideline. Like, he's not John Gruden or anything, but I think that they're coaches that can hold the team to account. And I'm not sure about the defensive guy you brought up. So I'm not sure what his mentality is like. A lot of defensive guys have a habit of being able to hold people to account. So I'm pretty positive they can hold it to account, and it's probably what the Raiders need. I mean, we need the kind of like we need a new direction. We need a direction, and we need like an infusion of youth into this team. And we need to get that energy back where it's like a competitive football team again. And I think this stuff can get that job done.
Hell yeah, facts. What do you think? Mike?
Do you mean like cerebral as far as like just how they coach, or or they
Or
or
just like, is he just? Do you think this staff will be too mellow, or do you think they're what the Raiders are looking for right now? Like in the change of pace, the change of offense, what they would offer to this team, what we've been lacking.
I would like to see cerebral, but I mean, I don't care what kind of coaching staff they are, if they're cerebral or if they're in your face. If they start winning games, I don't really give a shit. Whatever fucking works. And I like the idea of cerebral, thinking things out, planning things, which is what they're saying about Davis Webb. That's what he does. So I like the idea of it, as long as they ain't afraid to get in their players' face and say, hey, you know, you fucked up there. Stop. You need to. Did you see what you done? Not afraid to get in their faces and let them know who the boss is. You know, that's what I think.
That's facts. I mean, look, man, he's a young coach. That's what Gruden was when he got here, dude. He was young. He had a lot of energy. He was able to gel with the fans. He was able to gel with the players. And he knew how to get his fucking point across. And I believe Davis Webb is that same type of guy. He's a high energy guy. He's come from the college game. He's come from the NFL game. I believe he knows exactly how to attack this moment right now. And I believe, like I've said a bunch of times, that I think he's the best option for where we're about to go with. Nobody can sit here and say, oh man, Fernando doesn't need to be developed. You can't say that. There's absolutely just no fucking way you can sit and say that he's just pure ready to go out there and play football day one. No, he's not. Day one, he's going to be getting picked off. He's going to be getting messed up. The guy needs to be able to develop. He needs to sit out for a little bit. I've said it, just sit him out half the year if that's the case, but a year would be ideal. Tom Brady has spoke about sitting out quarterback for a year to let him develop, learn the system. Don't throw him in there. No need to just destroy the guy. That's why I keep saying I think Gino will come back next year. He'll be the quarterback for next year until he either messes up or he'll finish out the season on a good pace, and we will cut him in the 2027 season because I keep saying it got $0. So $0 dead hit, dude, they will most definitely move on. And Spytech and them prepared for this, and they already knew that this type of option was probably valid and was coming, probably not to this extent, but they were already ready for it. So I think at the end of the day, I mean, let's be real. I mean, Kingsbury, this is how I feel. The Raiders were already going to hire Kingsbury. They obviously figured his offense was good enough to compete out here. He just didn't get the contract he wanted, and everybody wanted to hire him. So it didn't work out with him money-wise and contract-wise. This time he's coming because of Webb, and he's going to come here, and they're going to give him the 3 years, man. They're going to give him the 3 years. They're not going to try to miss out on Kingsbury would be the key. Like I've said this, okay, Clint is not better at developing a quarterback than Kingsbury. That's just fucking 100% facts. That's just factual truth, dude. Clint ain't never developed a damn quarterback in his life. Who does he know on his staff that's going to out-develop Kingsbury? He doesn't have a guy. I mean, I know the staff people that would go there. There's not an offensive coordinator on the market better at I would say Dabo. I would say Brian Dabo could probably have a pretty good chance at it, but outside of that, it's gonna be Kingsbury all day. So if we're truly sitting here saying that we're trying to develop our quarterback, we're trying to make sure he comes out here with the hitting the ground running, it could Kingsbury run Chino and have success with them next year, if that's the route they choose, or they just kick Gino's ass to the side and say, you know what, we got a great coaching staff here. We're about to give this dude a line, and we are going to walk him into this from day one. It can go either way. If they feel confident that they can develop him right now, they'll develop him right now. If they don't feel that, he's ready to start right now, you still have options with Aiden. You'll still have the option with Gino. So I don't think, why would you waste money, go do something else? You'd have to trade for Mac. You're only doing Mac injustice to trade for him and then bench him. He's going to be a good quarterback. If you're going to get Mac, don't get fucking Fernando, okay? Like, if you're going to get Mac Jones, don't get Fernando. He's fucking 25 years old. He already showed you he can fucking win. And if he goes to the right team with the right system, he's going to win. He is a product of the system that he's in. If he was in Josh McDaniel's system, he went to the fucking Pro Bowl rookie year. He goes into Matt Patricia's system, garbage. He goes into fucking Bill O'Brien's system, garbage. He goes over to Shanahan's system, looks like he can take Purdy's job. You're a product of the system, man. So I would most definitely, I don't think they're going to let him trade him. I don't think they'll let him trade him to us, dude. I mean, why would Shanahan be like, yeah, just give us 4th round pick, and then you're going to shit on this dude that we just fucking spent the time? Like, I couldn't see him doing that. I just could not see him doing that, man. And I don't think anybody should do that. So why would we trade for him if that's the intention? If you're getting him and you're saying, okay, all right, Mac, we're going to get you and we're going to play you for 2 years. You're not going to be the quarterback here. You can go somewhere else. But still, it's still not fair to him either. So I think you just tough it out with what you got. I think you keep Gino, pay the $8 million, keep him on the roster. You keep Aiden. He's already on there for like 1.5, I think. And then you got Fernando. You got the 3 people. Aiden knows how to talk, develop. He's a good dude. Gino's a piece of shit. And hopefully Gino falls on his face before anything. And then we get to push him right into it. So, I mean, Gino's fucking absolutely garbage, but who cares? It's kind of what we want, right? We need him to fail at some point in the system or in the season if Fernando is becoming that guy. I just don't feel like it's like, unless he's got it, man. I mean, he's got to prove it in this camp in the preseason. If he does, he wins it, dude. It's just how it is. But if not, we're just not throwing him to the Bulls, man, right off the get-go, and he's just can't get it. We shouldn't do that. But from what I've heard, they are going to build the offensive system for him right away. Would this be the smartest staff that the Raiders have hired in 20 years? Mike, are you still there or no? Ozzy.
Yes, I read. I'm here.
All right. Would this be the smartest staff the Raiders have had in the last 20 years?
I'd say, yeah, even overall, even though I'm a big fan of Gruden's, and Gruden's like an offensive genius, I don't think we had the defense in that time, like in his second stint I'm talking about. I don't think we had the defense because, he held on to Paul Gunther for too long, and then we only got Gus Bradley at the end, and even wasn't a dramatic change with Gus Bradley, it was an improvement, but I just feel like if we can get the defensive coordinator, and then also like we got like a guy in Webb that's kind of like the young version of John when he was first coming into being a head coach, and then you got like Kliff, who's like a great OC. I think this will most definitely be the best stuff we've had together in years. Like I had to take a look at. You had to send me the name of that DC you're talking about. I'm gonna look into that guy after.
His name's Jim Leonard. He's the pass game, defensive pass game coordinator for the Broncos. He's going to be the guy interviewing for Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator, and they'll get a chance either on the 26th if the Broncos find a way to go to the Super Bowl, and if they lose, they can interview him then too. I don't know if this is true, man. I just absolutely don't think this is true.
What's not true?
I don't know. Someone sent me a post of Fernando Mendoza where it says he changed his profile to Las Vegas Raiders. That's crazy if that's
that
true.
would be crazy. That'd be crazy if he does that.
Yeah, the fuck out of that, dude. If I'm just being honest.
Yeah, probably.
At it these days too well, and I don't know. You can probably look it up and see. I don't know if he would do that though. I mean, never know, man. So.
I don't know if someone would do that before they even draft. It'd be kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, look, this is what I would say. I think when you're getting a guy like Davis Webb at 31 years old that has all the potential in the world to be a great play caller, offensive mind guy, everybody around likes him. He knows how to develop. He's had very good success developing and working with them. It's like you said, when he got there in 23, they weren't doing that well. Then they were Bo Nix. They started developing, started getting better. Let's be real. Bo Nix is like, I would say he's not the best at all. I think he's good. It shows good potential, but I think he also falters a lot. If it wasn't for that defense, that guy would probably be just average, if I'm just being honest. Does he show big game moments? Yeah, he does, but he hasn't put it together. I think the defense is what's carrying him for the better part of the deal. But long story short, I just feel like with David, he's had good success and he's had the good continuity. And I'm telling you, if he finds a way to beat the Patriots with Stenham, I just don't even think there's even going to be a conversation at that point, because that's what you need. That's the coach you need. You need the coach that can develop Fernando. That is the key deal. It's not about how good the offense runs when, elite players are all on it. We don't have elite players. We're not to that point yet. Is Clint a good option? Would he bring, good deal here? Yeah, but he offers more of a veteran team concept to the team. He needs a veteran quarterback that can run that system, and he's going to do just damn fine as long as he has the offensive players he needs. But he's shown if he doesn't have it, he doesn't run the same fucking offense, and it's not the same thing. And here we have to develop the quarterback. That is the number one deal. The number one deal is to not fuck up Fernando from day one. You need to surround him with fucking guys. Even if you're firing these dudes in the next 3-4 years, you still put him around dudes that got him going in that direction to start out. Offensive guys that are quarterback guys. That's what you got to go. And that's why I'm just saying Clint cannot match the tempo of freaking Kingsbury when it comes to developing a quarterback. And he's developed all kinds. He's developed all kind of quarterbacks, dude. Like, he's gone down a pretty damn good list, from little dudes, big dudes, fucking athletic dudes. He's got it. He would prefer more of a mobile guy for sure. But I think he could, like I've said, I think Kingsbury is at a point in his career where he's going to need to start changing up his offense if he's going to have long-term success as a coach or a head coach, things like that. His offense does run down. He gets a good offense right away, but it kind of falls off later on. So if he's able to develop it now and tweak it and change it while we're doing this, it's going to just show that, hey, this guy did hit a wall over here, a little bit of this, and then now look where, like, it's the perfect time right now. And I believe he'll most definitely do that. What do you say? Give him time on the alliance to develop. The link profile is fake. Yeah, that's what I was figuring, man. I'm like, that shit has to be fake, man, because I'm like, there's no way this fool just went out there and put the Raiders on his shit like that. That'd be crazy as hell. But what do you think, Mike? Would this be the smartest staff the Raiders have had in 20 years?
Klings in how long?
In the last 20 years.
Kingsbury, you mean Kingsbury and Davis Webb?
Yeah, just the tandem of them in the offensive side.
The smartest?
Yeah, the smartest group put together for the last 20 years. That wouldn't be including Gruden in '98.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it this. I mean, there's other people we've had that are super, super smart, but I definitely think it's the best fit for the Raiders. Uh, but I can't sit here and say that Davis Webb at 30 is smarter than some of these other, even, I hate to say it, Josh McDaniels. I hate to, I don't see how he's smarter in him and his lack of experience. But I don't think it's smartest, but I think it's the decision I want them to go with and to shape our team and let them learn along the way. You know, they're going to learn along the way. You know, and they're going to get smarter. I mean, I don't think that's important as long as they're smart.
That is
And
facts.
the guy is absolutely smart. We know that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and
not like
again,
he's a dumbass. He just doesn't have the experience yet, you know. And
yeah,
you
you
can't
can't
get
answer the
experience
question.
until you can't get experience till you get experience, you know.
Right, 100%. All right, we'll go into quarterback questions. If the Raiders draft Fernando Mendoza, is he a real franchise quarterback or just a system quarterback for Kliff?
Sorry, me first.
No,
I still think.
Michael, go first.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is he? I'm going to say system quarterback. Yeah, I really am. I think he's a system quarterback. He needs a lot of shit around him. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I'm not saying the guy sucks or he's not good or anything like that, but I mean, he had a lot of stuff surrounding him in Indiana. Not only the defense, he had an offensive line. He had two great running backs. He had some great receivers. I mean, he was surrounded. So, yeah, he needs to fit into he's a system quarterback because we saw what happened, you know, when he got some pressure on him in the Miami game. I mean, it's so he needs this. I think he's a system quarterback. I don't want to ramble on about nothing, but yeah, I would say yeah, system more than franchise.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Ozzy?
Sorry, Brad. I was just letting my dog inside. Yeah, I think he's a system quarterback as well. Like Mike was kind of hitting on. I think Fernando has been surrounded with a lot of good talent at Indiana. Then you also got the fact that Kurt Cincinatti, or however you say his name, is probably like the best coach in college football right now. So it's not even just a talent that's surrounded by, but it's been put into a great system as well. So whether he'll translate to NFL will remain to be seen at this point, because we don't know what he is outside of like a really talented and structured team. So, I mean, the only play I saw the whole championship game that really stood out to me was when he made that run for the touchdown. But outside of that, Even that pass to the sideline to I think it was Becker or whatever his name is.
Becker saved him twice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
him.
Yeah, exactly. That throw to me was off, and it was more like a great catch by the receiver rather than a great throw by the quarterback. So I'm skeptical at the moment. Can he develop into a really good quarterback? Yeah, I think he possibly could in the right system and good coaching and all that. Anyone can, but I'm just going to remain skeptical until I see him in the NFL and see how he develops. I just don't. It's not like when Joe Burrow was coming out, or even Trevor Lawrence was coming out, or any of those guys were coming out. Like, you don't have that. Like, there's certain things that you can see that they do that makes them stand out and be worth such a high pick. Like, I'm personally against drafting him at 1, but if they do it, I guess as a fan, we don't really have a choice. But I'm going to support the guy until he proves otherwise. But, if we draft him, we draft him. But I'm just personally against it. I just don't think he's worth the number 1 overall pick. I just don't see it. I mean, this draft is worth the number 1 overall pick because he's like the only quarterback in it. But if you were to compare him to like next year's class or something, he's not worth the first overall pick.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have been last year either.
Exactly.
He wouldn't be in it. He wouldn't be in any.
And another way I'd like to put
He'd be the 5th best quarterback, dude, outside.
Yeah.
Another way I like to put it is
in last year's.
If I put him in the same if you put him in the same draft as Joe Burrow, is he as good as Joe Burrow? And I say, hell no.
Oh, he ain't nowhere close to Burrow.
So a lot of people are trying to hype him up because of the certain things that he's done, but he just doesn't have the numbers that Burrow had coming out of college. Like the yards, the touchdowns, the big playability. He just doesn't have the same shit Burrow had coming out. So
what did he have in the last game? 184 yards.
Exactly.
I mean,
that
doesn't suck, but I mean it's not
People
great.
say, well, you look at the players they had. Jamar Chase and Jefferson and so on. Just look up the greatest team in college history and see where they're ranked at. Are they ranked 11th? I think the LSU team was ranked 11th. Go look up where Indiana was.
Yeah,
where are they ranked? Like fucking 5th?
5th or 4th or something, yeah.
Yeah, all time already. Like, come on, man. We can't sit here and say one or not. Their team most definitely was stacked as fuck. And when people sit here and use the excuse that the team was only 3-star, 4-star, dude, their receiver is 5-star. And at the end of the day, if the players start out the season as 3 and 4s, and then they produce at a very high level, they go up to 5s. That's how it fucking works, dude. So yes, when they got them on the staff, were they 3s and 4s? Yeah, but the coaches developed them. They became better fucking players. Or most definitely, they dog walked everybody.
Especially Elijah Surratt. I mean, I like Elijah Surratt, the wide receiver.
Oh, no doubt.
Miami, dude. I mean, Miami's the only team that pressured them to that extent and gave them that type of deal like that, fight like that.
Exactly.
Miami's a good team, man. Their defense is insane. I mean, they got some people that are drafting the first couple days, so this draft several people.
Yeah, I feel like you put what's his name, Carson Beck on the Indiana team, it easily win probably by more points. Like, I'm just being honest.
Hey, listen, I've said this fucking 100 times. I would take Trinidad Chambers over Fernando. I've said I've made that clear. I've said I would. I said straight up, if I can trade with the Jets, I would take Averill Reese with the first pick. He would be my pick in this draft. It wouldn't be Fernando. I'm just talking about Fernando because of the coaching staff and what they're going to do. I'm not here to talk about what I want to do. Not tonight, but if I was picking, I would trade fucking that pick at Averill Reese because I think he's a fucking beast. And I would get fucking Trinidad Chambers if I could. And if not, with that 16th pick, I would just pick another. I'd go corner probably or somewhere else, but I would worry about it then. Don't get me wrong. If I can get Bain and Averill Reese with the 2nd and 16th pick. Fuck, get out of here. I'm Max's ass getting traded fucking today, right away. Like, ain't a fucking doubt about that. But I would go that route if it was me. If there was a way I can get Chambus, I've talked about it, I would do it. Averill Reese is my pick in this draft. I don't have a problem with them picking Fernando. I have zero problem with them picking Fernando. He's a good quarterback. If they get in the right system, they get him the right people, all the right things, I'm not going to argue that he can't win. What I would argue is I bet you Mac Jones can win right now. Guaranteed Mac Jones can win right now. We don't need that fucking pick right now. We get Averill Reese, we get our 4 or 5 first-round picks, and we build the fucking team over the next 2 years. That's smart building. That's how you build a great fucking franchise. Sometimes, yeah, I get the whole story, the fairy tale story about get the quarterback. He's going to do – there's nothing that guarantees it in any way, shape, or form that Fernando will even transfer to the next level. Does he have the tangibles? But yeah, so does every guy that comes out of the fucking college, so it's not he still has to play. How does he take the pressure? How does he take the game speed? Is he able to concept it? Is he able to pick it up? He can't run over there like he did in college. They're gonna clean his fucking clock, dude. I mean, he already showed, dude, he get busted up in the backfield. I mean, number 3 over there, fucking, he don't like him. He just dog him every time he gets. He just popped the shit out of him. But I would say I think he would be good. But get to the question, I would say more systematic quarterback. 100%. I would say systematic quarterback. Look at where he's at right now. Why didn't he do that shit at Cal Poly? Why didn't he perform to that level of play at Cal Poly? And then he got over to Indiana and all of a sudden just fucking hallelujah, fucking just turned into this, elite dude. No, I think you're a product of the system 100%. You're as good as the coach. You're as good as the system. Like, that team is one of the best that's ever played in college history. So, yeah, no, absolutely not. I think he's a product of the system for sure. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong as long as you have the system for him when he gets here. So there's nothing wrong with him being a product of the system. You give him the right system, he can perform. If he fails, it's probably because you didn't give him the right shit to be able to perform. That's probably what I would say there. Let's go.
Yeah, it was Cal Berkeley. Like Jason was saying, yeah, it's Cal Berkeley that he played for.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You just misspoke, that's all.
So this next question is, if you had Shador and Quentin Ewers, would Fernando Mendoza be a better long-term fit than them two?
Hey, say again.
So basically, this question, I took 2 quarterbacks that pretty much were pretty good in college and then came here into the NFL because they pretty much match up with about what he's done. And when you said, my question basically is, if Fernando Mendoza a better long-term fit than if you had Shador or Quentin Ewers?
Not necessarily. I mean, probably maybe better than Shador, but I don't know about better than Quinn Ewers at this point. So that's what I mean. Because it's like you just said that their college history is similar. Their production is similar. So I don't know, Quinn Ewers might even be a little better than Fernando because at least Quinn Ewers, like in college, you saw him throw over the middle of the field in the deep ball plenty of times.
Thank
the
you.
Texas Longhorns. So, I mean, to answer that question, I would say I'm gonna be real. Like, people can like it or not, but I'm gonna be real. I'm not a fan of Mendoza. I feel like he's just getting a lot of hype in this draft because he's the only one coming out that's like in the top 5 or outside champions, maybe that's within the top 5 kind of talk right now. Like, this is such a weak quarterback class. Like, it's unbelievable how weak it is this year, that it's kind of propelled him to a higher standard than what he really is, in my opinion. Like, it's not that I'm hating on the kid. It's just like, I'm going to call an orange an orange. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say an orange is a fucking apple or something. Like, when it's not, it is what it is. He's a good quarterback. I think he's a system quarterback. I think in the right system and with a good coaching and lots of pieces around him, he can definitely succeed. I just don't think he's that all-star quarterback that's worth a number 1 overall pick, and I'm going to stay on that until he proves to me otherwise. Like, if he proves me, like, if we do draft him, I want him to prove me wrong if we do draft him. But until then, that's pretty much what I think. Like, and to answer your question, I don't think he may not even be better than Quinn Ewers at all, or he might not even be as good as Quinn Ewers. So I have to wait and see. That's what I think of it anyway.
Quinn Ewers in college was more just plagued by injury and
yeah, I agree.
Just sitting over the back of him.
Yep.
But what do you think? What do you think, Mike?
That was what I was going to add, was the injury issue. But first of all, I'm going to go on record, as I've said it many times before. I even wrote a poem about it, to the tune of Dr. Seuss, that I don't watch Sanders. I just don't. I think he might be better than Shador, but Ewers, without the injuries, no, I don't think he's better than him. And I would take Ewers over him any day. I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. I think he's hyped up. It's been pure hype, man. The whole Indiana thing with, them coming out of nowhere, well, not nowhere. They had a good season last year, but before that they just flat out sucked. They were the Raiders. They're that bad. And so he got brought along in that system, so he got overly hyped because he was a quarterback of that team. And I don't think he sucks as a quarterback, but I don't think he's that great. And I definitely found out on Monday that he did not do well under pressure. The dude was, he's a tough motherfucker. I'll give him that. I mean, because he kept getting stuck and he kept getting back up, especially that one illegal hit, the targeting one that they didn't ever call. But he's tough. I'll give him that. But I want something that's more than tough. Everybody in the NFL better be tough. I mean, if you're going to go out of the game with a bloody lip, I'm sorry, you ain't a football player. So I'm sorry, man. Unless you're concussed on the field, then okay, you're out, no problem. You got a bloody lip, man. So I mean, it hurt. It sucks, but I think his arm, when they showed his arm, it looked more damaged than his lip, man. His arm was all fucked up, man. His throwing arm. He had those deep ass bruises on there, but
that one dude punked the shit out of him in the backfield, dude. I mean, he just dirted his ass, and he did it before too. He did it to him before that game right there. I mean, and he look, the game that you're talking about and over there with Cal, nobody's gonna argue that he had a few good games here. He fucking sucked over there. I think, what was he, like 14 and fucking 10, touchdown interception over there. He, like I said, he's a product of the fucking system that he's in. It's just 100% fact, dude. Like, he
rode the wave.
Yeah, goddamn right he did, and it was just perfect timing for him. And I mean, I'm not gonna argue if he has certain traits. What I would say is that I think he just got on the right time, got there on the right time, especially when it was taking off. Why did his brother transfer out of there right now and go to Georgia Tech? Why did he leave there if it was, such a great deal? Like, Yeah, Cal sucked all together, period. They fucking sucked both years he was there. They sucked both years he was there. Like I said, the only people that knew who Fernando was, dude, were Cal Berkeley people. Everybody else learned who Fernando was in week fucking 8 of the college season. That's when they fucking heard Fernando. And then from week 8 to the end, fucking Raider fans just got on their knees and fell in love. Like, it's crazy as fuck. It's crazy as fuck. If anybody knows football and sees playmaker versus pocket, Chamba's better quarterback. It's just fucking facts, but it's his size, it's the accuracy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of deals he can't teach over there, but you can't teach fucking dude to fucking play like Chambas either. So Chambas plays him in the Natty. He probably whoops him. I mean, fucking Chambas played Miami, dude, and fucking they damn near beat him unless that fucking dude has the holding penalty in the end zone. So, but he don't get called for PI in the fucking end zone. They just let it fucking go. But that dude just holding the fuck out of him. And what was that? 18 seconds, march down, throw down in. I mean, Chambas is damn fucking good. He's damn good. He had a way better game against Miami than fucking Fernando fucking did. I mean, what did he put up? 2 fucking 77 touchdown, thinking interception on him. Fucking, he played way better. But either way, for me, I would say Shador probably had his equal of a season as him. I'm not gonna lie, Shador plays good. But he also, what is his touchdown interception right now? It is like massive touchdown or massive interception to touchdown. Like his shit's like, fuck, what is it, like 12-7 or something? Like it's pretty substantial opposite. Quentin Ewers, I said the whole time Raiders should have drafted that fool. They should have stuck him on the bench. I said that dude had everything he needed in college. He just needs to go to the NFL now and learn the NFL. He has all the traits. The kid's fucking great quarterback, man. And I would have loved to take him and sit him, man. Like I would have taken that dude in a heartbeat, dude. Fernando, I've said it. I'm going to stand by it. He's just average. He's an average quarterback, dude, in a draft that has no quarterbacks. Like, I've said it. If that game goes different and it's Chambas versus him and Chambas beats him in that Natty, guess who first overall in the fucking draft? It'd be Chambas. I don't think it would be fucking Fernando. And I've said it, just because you win a Heisman or you win a Natty or not, doesn't mean that you're going to be the best fuck quarterback that's ever played out there. People want to compare him to Joe Burrows. That's fucking laughable. That's absolutely laughable. Joe Burrows had a way better arm, way better accuracy in deep fucking passes. He split motherfuckers in midfield all the motherfucking time. I don't even know how the hell we're comparing Joe Burrows to Fernando to Joe Burrows. Anybody watch those games? Anybody know who that dude was? Like, he was fucking carving it up. And I don't give a fuck if he had Jamar and Jefferson. It was the system they were playing in that allowed them to play at that level. They play in a fucking way different system. He plays sideline football. He plays check down football. He plays throw behind the fucking line football. Like, that's what they fucking play. Well, we've seen how that worked out for Genty all fucking year with Chip fucking throwing behind the line. Well, it was Gino every fucking time, but you can't play that type of shit out there. It's okay to do it every now and again, but this isn't college ball where you throw a fucking ball behind dude, run by 3 fucking guys because they don't know how to tackle. That's not how this shit works. NFL, dude, like, they get him behind there more times than not. That kind of football works when you're, getting dudes blitzing inside, fucking committing because you keep running on them, dude, and then you can fucking expose. But when you have Gino out there, that's like his 80% fucking pass is check down behind the line 7 fucking yards, but either way, I would have loved to have Quentin Ewers, man. And for Fernando, I've said it. He's the only fucking quarterback in this draft. It's the only reason he's getting hyped. I'm not going to discredit him being a good quarterback. I don't want people to think like I don't like him, and I don't want people to think that I think he's a bad quarterback. This is what I would say. Averill Reese is better fucking player than him. Averill Reese would be the first overall pick in this draft if it wasn't for teams like me, us and the Jets needing fucking quarterback. If they didn't need the quarterback like that, Averill Reese would be the number 1 overall pick here. Who do you think going second after that quarterback? They're gonna fucking take Averill Reese. He would be the first guy, I promise you. So I don't feel like we should take him. I think I would try to trade for a veteran like Malik Willis or Mac Jones, dude, and pair him up with Kingsbury, dude, where he can have better success with the veteran right away and then look to go into next year's draft and go get a quarterback. I mean, I've said this for weeks now, but long story short, I feel like they're going to get set on, they want to get the guy. That's why we're talking about this tonight. And they'll get the guy and they're going to roll this way. It's just what they're going to probably do. I mean, Mark was gawking over that fool like he would go in the bathroom and blow him, dude, at fucking 70 years old, I guess, but when Mark gets those looks, dude, I've said it about Derek Carr. He wanted to take Carr in the first round. McKenzie fucking convinced him Arizona was the only team that was fucking targeting him, and he said they wouldn't take him in the first round. So he took Khalil Mack, and we took Carr in the second round. Mark Davis wanted to draft Derek Carr. What was that, the 4th pick that year? Wanted to get fucking Derek Carr, and we went Mack. So I feel like we're getting fucking Fernando. Everywhere Fernando, Mark was right. Fucking, like I think he wants the kid, man. And there's a lot of videos from people that were there where you'll see him on like Instagrams or things like that, where dudes were filming like Brady and all them on the sideline. And you'll see Brady just like when they were fucking, he's like, fuck, like they were, I think I'm pretty sure they're targeting him, man, so, and it's just going to be what it is. Like, this is how I look at stuff, man. I'm not going to fight the obvious. Okay. Like, I have an opinion about certain players or certain people I want up to the point of where it's no longer reality at all. Like if we sit and waste our time talking on pretend football, we can't fix the team right now. So logic says we come up with our ideas. We talk about those ideas. We hope they're hypothetical. That's what it is. It's a hypothetical conversation. And we sit here and we hope that this could be happening. But just like tonight, I'm hoping this is the direction we go. This has a lot of proof. Like we've talked over this last week of the combined of these guys, all these things, like you're answering all the questions you need about who these people are without biasness, without just favoring one individual. There's a guy that clearly stands out in this fucking thing if you're developing Fernando. Now, Fernando's an average quarterback. He has the traits. He has the accuracy. He has the timing. If you get Kingsbury and you get fucking Webb, you can develop him. That's the key word in the conversation of the coaching hire is who can develop him. Now, if they said, we're not going to go and get Fernando and Clint, we will get you fucking Mac Jones and we will run with him if you're okay with that for the next few years. Like there's nothing saying that that's still a possibility. The thing I say is not the way that they were all there looking at him. I just absolutely think that he's getting picked. They're not going to trade. They're going to pick him. They're going to develop him. I've even heard today, I have plenty of people that fucking have great contact in that motherfucking building. And I've heard that if they pick him, they are going to fix the line. They are going to fix the offense for him to succeed. There's no fucking doubt that he will have it. So if he fails, it's because he wasn't meant to be. But if you're going to commit, you have to commit, man. There's no going back. And if Brady, that's the key part. I can sit here and say, hey, man, look at his stats. Look what he did. I feel like he's an average quarterback. Brady knows what it takes to be on the field, and Brady knows when he talks to him in person, just like he fucking probably did while he was there, he knows what he's getting from the player. He sees it. He sees how he acts, what he's doing in these moments. Can we get him to change? Will he audible out the deal? Can he see the coverage? Can he see He's already visualizing all those deals, and he knows. So when he sees certain tendencies, he can be like, all right, this is something I did. This is things that I did. This is why I think Webb will get the job. What did Tom say? Tom said he said, you can have all the talent in the world. You can be the fastest, the strongest. You can have all this deal. But if you don't have preparation, you're not going to fucking beat these guys out there. What was my superpower? Was preparation, putting shit together, going against other teams, fucking knowing what they were doing, know who they had. What did he say about the Chiefs? Hell, I watched so much tape on them. I knew when they came out on the field that they were going to do this. Tom knew. He knew exactly who they were. What did he say about Webb? He said, this fucking guy preps just like I do. So when Tom walks in a building and he's trying to talk to a dude about certain things, about how he wants to prep, how he wants to do this, who do you think Tom talks to? Probably nobody, because they don't concept the shit that he concepts. When you put Webb in there, it's going to be like, fuck, bro, fucking blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a connection instantly. Kubiak don't have that shit, dude. He doesn't have it. He's a great play caller. Like I've said it, if they go with the veteran quarterback, Kubiak probably be the better quarterback. If you're going for youth and future, you gotta fucking take Webb. He has too much he has too much in common with Brady, that Brady and them could have equal conversations. That's how you get it. Brady has an idea in his head, and Davis can see it. He can understand it. Other people will be like, yeah. It's like fucking some of the guys that we hire, right? Hire some Mexican guys, dude. They fucking don't speak English much. I fucking go over there. I ask them, I'm like, hey, man, I need you to go over here and fucking go pick up this stuff over there. Oh, do you understand that? Yes. Yeah, I understand. Motherfucker, go fucking left. Motherfucker, I just, fuck this guy going. Like you can't do that shit. You got to fucking you can't just tell the guy you understand. You got to be able to concept what they're saying, dude. And in this case, I mean, fuck, come on, man. What are we going to keep doing? We're just going to keep putting Band-Aid over Band-Aid, never fucking fix the deal, never get a rhythm, never create our own fucking anything. You have a youth group right here, dude, that you can start creating your own link tree. You can build your own fucking people right here with a bunch of young fucking dudes that have a ceiling that are fucking high as fuck, and they come from very proven organizations, and they do very important jobs on their fucking team, like Webb. Like that's the whole thing is like, I don't think you can fuck this one up like that if you're drafting Fernando. You go get Clint, dude. Clint can't fucking develop him because the fucking guy don't know his plays or shit on the field or things of that because he's not a veteran. And then what? Then fucking what? 3 years later, you're fucking pissed out another fucking quarterback and they're, Jamarcus Russell 2.0. Like, you got to be able to work with those people. They got to be able to understand, dude. Show me if I'm wrong where Clint's ever fucking developed them. You won't find it. He's worked with people under Shanahan when Shanahan did it, but he didn't fucking do it. Like he's a veteran guy. Derek Carr, fucking Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was fucking developed where fucking Kyle Shanahan to begin with, went to Kevin O'Connell over to there. He ran a fucking guy that was already developed, so it's just like I said, you're a product of the system, and I think in this one we got to be careful. So if you get Fernando, if you draft Fernando and he starts, and let's say they start him in year one, how long do you think before Raider fans turn on him for losing games? Do you think it would take up to 4 games? Do you think it'd be 6 games, 8 games? How many games do you think it would take where the Raider fans talked him up? And then if this is just a scenario, it ain't fucking against the guy, it's just a fucking scenario. If he lost in 4, 5, 6 games, do you think Raider Nation would turn on him, or do you think Raider Nation would know that he's got to develop and he's learning?
Oh, is it me first?
Is it? Yeah, either way, yeah.
All right. To be honest, with guys like us, like me, you, and Mike, we're gonna understand that it takes time. But I can guarantee you, it'll be like after the first fucking game, you're gonna have fans out there fucking saying it's his fault. Like everything I've seen over the fucking 20 years, like it's gonna be like the second he fucks up, it's gonna be like, oh, it's his fault. Fucking get someone else. Fucking it wasn't worth the pick, and blah 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 blah. I can guarantee you that that's gonna happen.
It being fucking 2 quarters and dudes.
Yeah, 2 quarters and fucking. But realistically, like for us realistic fans, I like you got to give him a year, man. Like, especially with this fucking team. That's why I think Brady is against. One of the reasons why Brady's against starting a rookie in their first year, because he understands the pressure that's going to put him under when he understands that they're going to have like learning curves and whatever. So I think we've got to be realistic. If we start, any rookie quarterback's going to have problems their first year because they got to adjust to from the college speed to the NFL speed for one. Like the defenses in the NFL is like way faster. Fucking linebackers are going to fucking get the ball quicker. Your windows are going to be tighter and passing, like all that shit. The pass rush is going to be fucking like every game's going to be like fucking Miami, like or fucking tougher, like as far as avoiding the rush and stuff on the defense. So like we've got to be realistic about that. And then on top of that, we're talking about a Raiders team that's got to bring in like multiple players on the offensive line, like 1 or 2 on the offensive line and whoever else to like fix the team around him. So there's so many moving parts. I think it'd be a mistake to start him right away. But if we do, I think you've got to give him the whole year to get his feet wet and fucking adjust to the NFL speed. I don't think you can really judge the kid until year 2. Or at least by maybe the end of the year or something, kind of like what Derek Carr had when he had lost like fucking 10 games in a row and then he won 3 in a row or something. So I think we got to look at it from that point of view.
Are you saying Carr?
No, I'm saying like we got to expect like the same from any rookie quarterback coming in. It can be a situation where we're losing like 10 games in a row and then fucking winning 3 in a row, like kind of deal.
Oh yeah.
So it's like just as a comparison, like as an analogy or whatever comparison, I'd say like we've got to expect the same thing with Fernando. Like he's not going to win. He's probably not going to win right away. But we know for a fact that some Raider fans are going to throw him under the bus the second he fucks up. Just how it is, I guess.
I mean, that's fucking facts. I put 4 games or 4 quarters. I mean, fucking.
Yeah, facts. I mean, if it's that
the biggest hated motherfuckers.
Let's just say it's fucking, for example, Pie. I'm just saying as an example. I'm not saying Pie will be even on the team, but let's say Pieham's getting blown up every time, and you got whoever going into fucking backfield sacking him every time. They end up blaming him in some way or another, saying he should have fucking escaped, even if it's the O-line's fault for fucking not giving him any time. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he'll even survive 4 quarters before he gets criticized.
I mean, facts. But what do you think, Mike?
I think the Raiders fan base, I mean, I'm trying to put this nicely. We're intense. I mean, we're intense. And sometimes, I'm not saying anybody on this panel for sure or anybody in this chat. I mean, if you guys are watching the show after the season we had and you're still like craving Raider news, you guys are real ones. But I'm saying there seems to be the generation of fans we're getting young. We're getting younger, and these younger fans have not seen success, and the patience is gone down to nothing. I mean, we so like you said, 4 quarters or 4 games. I would like to think we'd give them, our fan base would give them at least 6 weeks. I mean, depending on like if it wasn't all his fault, it wasn't like Geno Smith throwing 3 interceptions a game or something like that. I'd like to think we can give him a break. Do I think we will? That's yet to be seen. But because I mean, just as much as you can say, probably I'm gonna say 70% of the fan base, maybe, or the people talking and stuff, want Fernando, you watch how fast 30% of those people will switch sides in a heartbeat. And no, I never wanted Fernando. I wanted to trade back. It's
Oh,
going
they
to
do
happen.
that shit
And
all
and
the these
that
motherfucking bipolar motherfuckers,
yeah.
bro. Like,
Yeah, it's the new schoolers, man. It's not the old schools, and I'm not. There's a lot of new guys, newer, younger people that are great fans, but I mean, there seems to be a tide of changing. I mean, to where it's not as devout no matter what. And because I remember in Oakland when I first started going to games, you never heard a boo in that Coliseum. I swear to God, and we had some miserable seasons
hell yeah.
until probably started hearing some trickling in, not much, but some in the last couple of years, the 2018, 2019 area, 2017 area. And it's different now from those days. It's a different fan base. I mean, and this is what we always suspected. I know I suspected it as being a season ticket holder in Oakland. I knew what was going to happen. These, casinos were going to buy up the tickets, and there's all going to be people buying tickets that don't even want to go to the game. They just want to buy them and then turn around and sell them because it's such an easy game to sell. But well, nowadays it ain't so much because of our records, but it's turned into more of that kind of fan base, more of a, I hate to say it, not the diehards, but more of a fair weather. I mean, because we were in Oakland, I suffered through. Uh, uh, at least wasn't it at least 2-14, seasons, almost back to back, and that place was full every week.
Yep, and this
And
is what, 06, 06.
I was in 10. You were in 106?
I said in 06.
Oh, I was gonna say I was in section
We
106.
were in 240.
Yeah.
240.
I was in 106. Yeah, in Black Hole, and so you know how it was, man. It's it was we would party in the tailgate before the game so hard. I mean, it hurt less coming out of the Coliseum, you know. So I don't think he's gonna have. I think he's gonna be on a short lease. How many games? I don't know. It's gonna be a short lease though, man. If it's looking like he's the only thing holding us up, it's gonna be, oh, there goes the Raiders drafting another quarterback in the first round. It's another. Whose name's gonna come up? It's going to be another Jamarcus Russell,
Yep.
and that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Oh yeah, the Raiders can't. We're cursed. We can't. When we pick in the because the staff is, but they're all before. Right now, they're all like, right, I'm right behind you, man. I'm pushing you. Let's do this. And then when it doesn't work out, they're all like, they want scalps for doing it.
That's facts. What was that dude that played for the Donkeys? And what was it in 18? The big old tall dude, Brock. Wasn't it Brock
Brock
something?
Osweiler.
Yeah, dude, that guy. This is who Fernando reminds me of. Is this fucking guy, man? Like, I think he probably had a better arm, Brock did, but it's like
Yeah.
this is who I vision here, dude. Be here for a few
Look,
years and see you later.
well, I forgot about that dude, man.
Yeah,
That
but
dude was fucking big though, man.
hell yeah, he was. Yeah, like I said, I say 4 games, 4 quarters. I mean, the Raider fans are so bipolar anymore.
4 minutes. I
Yeah,
mean, one interception.
I think if you put him in a start, you're gonna destroy him. I think
Yeah,
even if you have the line and stuff, it's just the fact that he doesn't know the NFL speed and all that. Now, if he goes through camp and he grasps it and he's in preseason, he does good, like great, go ahead and go do it. I'm not gonna complain, but I would just say, I mean, you think about it, Derek Carr won 11 straight losses before he won 3. And then he lost again the last 3, and people still stood behind him in there.
Yeah.
So, but that's not now. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, that's not.
Different. Mhm.
Yeah, I think if we win 11 straight losses, oh fuck. I think
I don't. I think there'd be a hanging before we
shit.
got to 11
Oh
straight
fuck,
losses.
dude. I mean, you would be talking about people saying Brady, Spytech, fucking all of them are bogus. Don't know what the fuck they're doing.
There'd be nothing but pitchforks and torches, man.
And they're gonna be saying they should have took Gabriel Reese. Look what he's doing over there. I mean, we're gonna hear all
Yeah.
right away. But and look, dude,
Well,
it's easy to look at the negative side of things easily. It's always easy to do that. I think, like I said, it's gonna be what he's gonna have to prove getting here to this level, you know. Let's move to the next question because we've still got a few more to go. Is drafting Mendoza proof the Raiders are finally developing a quarterback instead of chasing one? Mike.
yeah, if they bring him in first overall, it has to mean that. I mean, instead of chasing one, but well, you know what? No, let me go back on that. I mean, are we chasing one? Because is this guy who we want as the number one overall pick? Wouldn't that be considered chasing if we get him anyway? Because that's the best that we have available that's available right now. I mean, isn't that kind of chasing?
Mm-hmm.
Or
100%.
what do they call that when you draft somebody that's supposed to go in the second round and you draft them in the first round? You know, God, they got
Reaching.
a term
They're
for it.
fucking reaching.
Reaching. Thank you. Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, I think it is reaching. I think it is reaching, especially. I mean, we've said it before on a couple of your shows. The value of this first overall draft pick, is skyrocketed with more being out of the draft, declaring himself out of the draft. So it's worth. We're going to get some shit, and I saw some other people. I just want to bring up one thing. I saw some people in the chat that were saying, stuff about, we we won't if we get to eight, maybe win 6 games or 5 games. We're not going to get the high enough draft pick to get a quarterback. But the thing is, or if we don't do it this year and do it next year, well, the thing is, if we trade back, we're going to have so many first rounders that we can trade. We can move up.
Yeah, and
We can move up.
it's not like if you have 5 fucking quarterbacks, they're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not like
Right. There's always going to be some defensive players.
there's gonna be lineman, defense, halfback,
Yeah,
receiver, somebody that's fucking
exactly.
Jeremiah Smith gonna
So,
pop up in that
but
motherfucker somewhere right there. I mean, it most
yeah,
definitely they're gonna most
you're,
definitely probably be able to get one at 10.
yeah.
So I
Right,
don't
that's
think
what I'm saying. You could trade
and you're
you could
not
trade
getting
those
Archie.
picks.
Like, you can just count that shit out. Whoever has first overall pick, getting fucking Archie. Like, you're not getting Archie.
I'm not sure if I want them anyway.
No one's gonna trade him. Nobody's gonna trade him. I guarantee you can bet money right now, and you'll hear it here right now. If a team gets him, and I watch, you think I'm fucking crazy as fuck? Let's say that the Chargers fucking went out here and fell off the face of the earth, dude, ended up the first pick, Herbert gone. Like, they're gonna swap him off with him easily. Fucking, I mean, Archie can take people's jobs, dude. Like, they're gonna bet on him being a Manning, dude, and developing, coming through that family, the bloodline, the lineage, what he's done in college. I mean, he looked damn fucking good in the Michigan game right at the end of the fucking year. I mean, the dude fucking he started struggling, and I thought it was the commercials, all that shit. And then all of a sudden this fucking kid comes on damn good throughout the season. I mean, I think he's gonna be hard. He's gonna be tough, man. He's gonna be a tough guy. But long story short, we don't need. My point is, you're not getting the first pick unless you just suck. Whoever gets that first pick, there might be dudes that are intentionally losing to get that pick. But long story short, there's people like CJ Carr, Levitt, and so on. You'll have fucking more. You'll have.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're gonna have dude from Duke. You have all kinds of. Well, he's at Miami now, right? So dude at Duke moved to Miami. You have multiple good quarterbacks going to be moving around next year. So I absolutely would not be stressing if we didn't get one this year and fucking just went with Geno. I would absolutely not deal. And then that's where Clint comes in, because Clint was going to coach Gino over in Seattle, dude, until they didn't agree on the contract. So once they didn't agree on the contract, that's when they went and got Sam. But they were going to run with Gino with Clint. So I don't think but there's still the possibility he would come here and run with him here. So you just can't count out. There's too many what ifs and all this. That's why I just stay focused on what we're talking with the coaches and where we're at. But it's
That's all I was saying is if we trade back, we're going to get draft capital next year, or we can trade up. Maybe not to number one overall, but I don't think we need number one overall. That's what I was trying to say.
no, top 10. I still don't think we get a good quarterback.
We can get yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then by then we're going to be built up and be ready for a quarterback.
Raider Nation, you're right. Kingsbury does like a mobile quarterback, but this is what I've also been saying about Kingsbury. Kingsbury is at a point in his career where his system is going to start hurting him, and he's going to need to alter it. He's a good enough coach, man, where coaches come to a block in the road and they need to start changing things for, later the next step in their journey. And I believe he's smart enough to figure it out, and I think he's smart enough to change it. Like I don't think that he's a dumb coach. I think his system is, like I say, he wants a run first quarterback. I do not disagree. I mean, that's why I've said Chambers would probably work in it, but you also got to remember, Kliff is also a timing guy, routine routes. I mean, like he's all these things that Fernando is too. He just can't run like he would like. So I've said if Kliff is to be able to show people in the NFL that he can coach and teach anybody, he's going to have to alter his shit at some point in his career to show that he's good enough to get with the times and be able to put a guy behind that line. And I've said it, what better chance to show that he came over here to the Raiders, helped fucking Davis Webb get going, helped a franchise quarterback, a rookie quarterback, not one time with Jalen, but with the Raiders too. He's going to get a job. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get the job. So, and again, we're okay with that, because the intention in 2 years or 3 years from now, we're hoping 2 years at least, that then Webb can take over, because that's what the objective is at the end of the day is let Webb spend the first 2 years just help developing fucking Mendoza. He learns the head coaching job. He doesn't have all the pressure of running the offense. That's why you have Kingsbury. You have ways to bounce stuff off of Kingsbury. Hey, what do you think we do? What here? You got a really good guy that you can have those conversations with. And Webb is the guy having that transition. What did Spytek say on the deal? Come on, man. Spytek said if the quarterback and the coach, it's going to be crucial that they fucking get along and that they fucking gel well together, because they are the future of this fucking franchise. Spytek said that right on the podium when he was sitting there talking right after the Pete Carroll deal. So if you're sitting there saying, I feel like this would be the best deal, Webb builds that relationship with them for the first 2 years, why they're developing them, going through these things. Then when Kingsbury leaves, he instantly transition his quarterback, their team, boom, take the fuck off, so I think that would be the smartest thing, because that's the way you develop Davis Webb over those the next few years, so that's my opinion, but I think that would be the smartest fucking thing you can do. What do you think, Ozzy?
Sorry, man, I have multiple windows open. So are we saying that
is drafting Mendoza proof the Raiders are finally developing a quarterback instead of chasing one?
No. If it was next year's quarterback class and we're picking a quarterback when there's multiple quarterbacks to pick from, then I'd say yes. But it's kind of like what Mike was saying earlier, which is when there's only one quarterback in the draft at that end worth taking, and then you're just taking him anyway just because he's the only one there. That's still kind of like reaching and stuff. So it's not really like, it's kind of like we're just getting desperate at that point. That's what I think. Like we've said multiple times before, I just don't think this is the year to draft a quarterback. If we take him, I'll support him until, and give him, time to develop and whatever before I judge fully. But the thing is, I'm going to say is I'm skeptical. It's no hate on the guy. It's just, I think people this year are way overhyping him. And it's only like what you were saying earlier, where people that don't really watch college football that much wouldn't even know who the kid was until like week 8 of the college season. Like, he's not someone that's kind of like, we're already talking about Arch Manning now. We're already talking about the guy that just transferred from Duke to Miami now, that Darren Mentor, or however you say his name. Darian Mentor, I think is how you say it, from Duke. Is going to transfer to Miami. Like, we're talking about those dudes already. No one was talking about Mendoza last year.
No, nobody fucking knew.
Like, we can't just. I'm not hating on the kid.
I'm gonna tell you like this right now. If a motherfucker told you last year that Mendoza is gonna transfer from fucking Cal Berkeley and go to fucking Indiana and win the fucking Heisman and the Natty, they would have laughed at your ass like you're dumb as hell.
Exactly. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, because over here, like, I don't get as many games as you guys get in the US, obviously, especially for college football. Like, I get it through Foxtel, so I get a lot of the games, but it's not like I get all of them. And then when I started hearing Mendoza's name pop up, I'm like, where the fuck do I know that name from? I know I've heard that fucking name somewhere. So then I had to go look it up. I'm like, oh, that was when I was watching Cal the other year when I wanted that linebacker out of Cal. What was his name? The Teddy something out of Cal, the linebacker last year. Teddy Buchanan.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he was the quarterback with him. I'm like, that's where the fuck I heard that name from before. But yeah, like it just took me a minute to even realize who the fuck the kid was. Like, there's no way they were talking about him last year the way they're talking about Arch Manning and Darian Mentor and fucking Moore's going to be coming out next year now, and all the other quarterbacks that are coming out next year. Like, no fucking way. And we can't be overhyping players just because we're desperate for a quarterback, man. I think that's a mistake. I think you can really fuck yourself when you start getting desperate for a certain position, doesn't matter what position it is, but even more with the quarterback position, just because it looks real bad if you draft a quarterback. Like, we do not want another Jamarcus Russell. I'm not saying he'll be Jamarcus Russell by any means, but I'm just saying we cannot afford to hit and miss on a quarterback like that again. Like, to pick a quarterback, hit on a quarterback or take a quarterback and then miss like that again. Like, it's going to set our franchise back years. I think it's better, like we've been saying, trade back, gain extra draft capital, and build the team first. Then in year 2 of the new regime, that's when you go hook your career to a quarterback. I mean, it could happen, but I think it'd be silly for them to, because if you draft a quarterback now, you like Kingsbury, Davis Webb are kind of like tying themselves to Mendoza at that point. If you get what I mean, like where you tie your career to as a Raiders coach to that quarterback.
Oh yeah, you're with him.
Yeah,
that's why they're going to give him 2-3 years. So
yeah,
develop them, and then if they don't, then they're going to be gone, just like Flores and like McDaniels were there.
Whereas I think you're buying yourself at least an extra year of development. I think you're buying yourself an extra year of development if you make the trade down, get like Arvell Reese, Arvell Reese is almost like a can't miss prospect. So you want your first draft coming in as a new head coach and all that, as a new staff, you want your first draft to be good. If you want to guarantee that your first draft is going to be good, you should pick players that are more like can't miss prospects. And I feel like Arvell Reese is way more of a can't miss prospect than fucking Mendoza is by a long shot. And then not only that,
combine can most definitely prove that too. So don't get me wrong, they can go into the combine and be like, you know what, fuck it. Look, Reese is just showing out like a bat out of hell. I've said it. We're not a quarterback away from going and winning.
fuck no.
I mean
Hell
that's
no.
just the actual truth. I mean, there's just too many holes. We can't keep up. Defense is inconsistent. Offense has no consistency either. You're gonna have to have the coaches, the schemes, the development, 1, 2, maybe 3 drafts. I mean, so you got to start building your own people, your own culture, your own identity. People usually taking over somebody else's failing system. Year ones never have success anyways because they are moving so many pieces and players in and out, trying to figure out. I believe the younger people have more success right now due to the fact that they're just more in key with the younger group of people. Like they're young themselves. They're right there with them visually, you know, like they can see it a lot quicker and a lot faster nowadays. So I think veteran coaches that have veteran teams, it's easy to be successful when 80% of your team is always consistent and you're only changing out 20% versus other teams that it's like, fuck, we only have like a 30% consistency and we got to change out 70%, you know, like that gives you a big ass advantage.
I say 80% in that case, yeah. 80% of our team needs to be replaced.
Yeah, and then we're saying with Baltimore, we're talking about it's the opposite around.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so, and it can probably be even less. It can be a 15 or 10.
The way I'm looking at it right now, like let's be realistic. Outside of quarterback, because we already know quarterback, right? So outside of quarterback, we need a wide receiver 1. We need 1 to 2 offensive linemen. We need a backup running back to Genty that can spell him so we don't run Genty into the ground and ruin his fucking career. We also need possibly another tight end 3 when fucking, I don't know if Ian Thomas or whatever is coming back. So it's another position, but it's a depth piece. Then you flip to the defensive side. We need a coverage linebacker. We have none right now. And if we're playing like the 2 middle linebackers out there, we need 2 of them. Then we need depth behind those linebackers. Like all we have right now is Cody Lindenberg and Eckenberg guy. Everyone else, I believe, is a free agent pretty much.
Yeah, and I would let them all go anyways.
And I let them all go anyway, yeah. Exactly.
It'd be easier to say we need everything but a punter.
Yeah,
pretty much. Like, and then,
some talent with the rookies, but yeah, fuck yeah, I would agree with that.
And then on the D line,
I would get rid of Eric Stokes because people say, he held down his deal over there. I would disagree. I would say, I would be like, yeah, he held down his spot over there and they didn't really throw to him. You know why? Because they were fucking throwing, fucking 6 touchdowns a game on fucking Kai Blue Kelly. So they didn't throw over to him. They were like, yeah, we're just going to beat the shit out of this guy. Right? So
that's facts.
I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I
said I want to hold your corner ring outside of Darren Porter.
And when that guy got challenged, dude, there was times he got beat down. So I think it was more the fact that teams schemed for Kai Blue Kelly's trash ass over there.
Yeah,
and they abused them. So
the only corner I like at the moment that I can think of off the top of my head is Darren Porter. That's it. So we pretty much need like 4 or 5 corners as well, and then like at least 2 of the 3 more starting corners, and then we need another. Even if we keep Jeremy Chin, we need another safety. Like lots of people are high on Isaiah Palomar. I'm not as high as some people. Whether they keep him or not remains to be seen. But I wouldn't also not be against getting another starting safety out there, especially one that like a really good coverage safety, free safety, whatever you're going to call it. And then you still, like I said, we still need a defensive tackle that can get after the quarterback. We still need a nose tackle that can stop the run. We still need someone to show up on the other side of Max Crosby. I'm not questioning Max Crosby's talent or whatever, but I am starting to question his ability to stay on the field with all the injuries and the surgeries and all that. So it's like maybe we even need 2 starting DNs at some point in the season if Max goes down again, if we do keep him. Therefore, we need 2 DNs, not just another one across the outside of him. Like we have so many pieces on defense that we need. It's just nuts. And then you're telling me you're going to get a rookie quarterback's going to fix all that? I think not.
Hey, Jocks, don't forget, man, he wasn't just ass in college. They were about to ship his ass in the Bills, too, when he came here into the NFL.
Yeah, Dabo fixed him.
And Dabo came in and fucking got him Stephen Diggs and all those guys in order to help out his offense. So, again, product of your system for damn sure. All right, let's move into the next conversation. Last three questions. What's a successful year one for this group? 7 wins, playoff push, or just competence?
Who's first?
You can go first.
Competence, improvement. I mean, 7 wins would be fucking awesome, but playoffs? Playoffs? No, sorry, doing my Jim Moore there, but just show some comp. The one thing of all those years, and you did it too, Dustin. In Oakland, of all those things, I mean, our team did not look like it. I mean, we may have still lost, or been 2-14, but we didn't look like this. We didn't look. We looked prepared. We looked like we came out to play. We just got outplayed because, well, we suck. We didn't have the people. We didn't have the coaches at times. I mean, it was it was a revolving door back then. Back in the when I first started getting season tickets was 2003, I believe. Yeah, and it was revolving door of coaches, uh, general managers, everybody. And but the team looked like it. They right now it just looks like I keep saying we need everything with punter because that it's the truth. We need everything but a punter, and it took years to get here. So it's not gonna take one off season to get out of it. So I would just show some confidence, shows some like looks like we're playing hard, we're getting better, we're improving. I think that's a good year for us this year, the first year. That's it.
That's facts. I mean, that is facts. I mean, that you're gonna have a lot of moving pieces here. Coaches, head coaches, coordinators, scheme, players, fucking. I mean, there's going to be a lot of rotational moving pieces here. There's 24 people going to free agency. I think it's 18 unrestricted free agents, and then the other ones are free agents, and we're going to have Malcolm and them on that list. So you're gonna have a lot of moving pieces, a lot. So I would just be prepared to go out there and build a good, competent, good, consistent team. That's where I'd probably be for in year one. Just start getting shit together. That's all you need. Start the process. What do you think, Ozzy?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of echo what you guys are saying, what Mike was saying. I think for me, year one is about number one, installing the system, like just getting the start of not the whole thing, obviously, but just having some kind of identity on offense, some kind of identity on defense. And then also, like we have talked about many times before, establishing a culture of accountability. So a culture where like guys are going to call each other out in the locker room if someone fucks up. Not necessarily in a mean way, but just in a kind of like what do they call that? A constructive way. Like, you got to be cruel to be kind, tough love kind of way.
Constructive
criticism. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Constructive criticism. It's on the tip of my brain. I've been at my computer typing all day. My brain's almost fried. What I was saying is someone that can give constructive criticism. And then also, I mean, Max, if we keep Max, is probably going to still be the leader of the defense, I would assume. And then having someone on offense that can also be a leader on offense, that can hold their side of the ball accountable when they fuck up. And then not only that, we need it from the coaching staff too. Like, Webb needs, like, if fucking Kingsbury fucks up, Webb needs to be able to call him out on it. Again, not in a mean way, but in a constructive way so that we can improve. Like, if we fuck up, we need to admit that we fucked up and then improve upon that fuck up. Because if anything, we learned anything from last season is that there was no accountability, that people could fuck up as much as they wanted, and then it's like, oh no, it's this guy's. It's like blame shifting. I think I put posts out about it where I said it's like what they refer to as blame shifting, which is where you just shift the blame to somebody else instead of placing the blame where it belongs. Like, you know, Pete not holding his son Brennan accountable, for example, or you know, Gino can go out there and throw like 5 picks or 4 picks or whatever, 3 picks in a fucking game, and there's no accountability for it. Like, we can't be doing that shit going forward. So I think year one, wins and losses doesn't mean anything. Like, even if we win one game, who gives a fuck? We get another high draft pick. Like, who cares at this point? Because at this point, we're just building the core of the team. We're establishing what our identity is. We're establishing what the system will be offensive, defensively. Like, that's what we should be focused on year one, in my opinion. It's just scheme, accountability, and culture and development. And then we can worry about the next steps after that in the following year.
I mean, that's facts. Yeah, like I said, I think 100%. I mean, if you're sitting there saying playoff push, you're fucking delusional. I mean, if you got lucky because you hit on all your shit and you were able to go there, yeah, kudos to that. But any person that thinks playoff push is just crazy as hell. 7 wins is pushing it, I think. I mean, I think between 4 and 6 would probably be more realistic. 7 would be great. I mean, hell, you can 7 wins this next year. And year one of having a full rebuild, coaches, players, all, I mean, damn, I have to say we were getting off the right way. I've said it, I think it's more just setting the base, the culture, you know, what they're expecting here. You're coming with young people. It's like I've said, if Pete would have just not said that, oh, I ain't do nothing but win 10 games every year, blah, 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 blah. Fuck, he walked himself into his own trouble. You know what I mean? Like, he could have just said, hey, we're going to come in here. We're going to try to work. We're going to try to develop. You know, we're going to be in a rebuild year and hope for the best. Like, that would have been the way to go about it. So people knew what they were expecting. But when people say this team's so good, if the secondary, man, the people in Seattle would be so pissed at me right now. You know, it's just a bunch of bullshit. But long story short, like I said, I just think continuity and so on for year one. Let's go on to the second question is do you trust Mark Davis to stay patient with a young head coach and a rookie combo?
Sorry, me first this time? Okay. I fucking sure hope so, is what I'm going to say to that. Like, we know that Mark's going to... Sorry, my dog. Good. Sorry, I had to mute myself when I told him off. That we have to hope so, because, I mean, so far we've had, like, how many coaches? They've had fucking Josh McDaniels only got a year and a half. AP got about the same. Then we have Pete Carroll's got a year, so... I think we most definitely have to hope that he's going to be patient. I think we will. I think Mark, when he handed the keys to Brady and Swiatek, I think he's kind of leaving it in their hands. And even though Mark might not be the most patient guy, I think Brady and Swiatek know how to play the long game. So I think it's going to really be up to Swiatek and Brady on that one, to be honest. I think Mark's going to leave it in their hands to decide, like, how long the coach has and where the development is at after year one and that kind of shit. He's probably going to, discuss with Brady and Swiatek. I think he's going to let them run things. That's pretty much what I think, anyway.
What do you think, Mike?
I would like to hope so. Like I think Aussie just said, I would like to hope so. Like that they, if you're going to hire, I mean, if they're going to be doing what we're suggesting, 30-year-old coach, 35-year-old coach, and stuff like that, or total rebuild. I would like to think. I mean, I know he's not really a great good, decent, okay, subpar football mind, but I think he's got to realize business things is like it's it takes time to rebuild the business, and maybe you can put it in that terms and understand that if you're going to start all new like this, you can't go into that thinking so that it's just going to turn around in 1 or 2 years. Could it possibly in three? It could. It may take three. It may take more. We don't know. As long as we start seeing improvement and then start sniffing the playoffs, maybe year three. I see uh, an obviously below 500 season this year, and I see maybe getting close to 500 next year, and then maybe the third year, maybe getting into possibility of talking possibility of playoffs. So if I would like to think that he would understand that, and I would like to think that all the his spy techs is the people that he's been putting in place because he says he doesn't know football go by what they're doing because it's obvious what spy tech is doing. He's a younger guy. He's got time, and he's proven that by almost every move he makes. And if he's leaning on his people that he picked to be his football minds, they're going to tell him that. So I would like to think that they would give him at least, uh, as long as they're showing, first year signs of competency, like as you put it, Dustin. Second year signs of improvement with wins and losses. Third year maybe breaking the 500 barrier and maybe some playoff talks. And then I think he would be good with that. God, I hope he is, because you can't start with all young, whole new staff and expect it to turn around in 1 year. Everybody keeps saying stuff like, well, Washington, what do they do? Turn around 1 year. Yeah, where are they at now? So I mean, it it takes time. It takes time to do a total turnaround, and I would have to at least think he's smart enough to understand that. That's it. All I got to say about play it.
Yeah, an injury can change it real fast, just like you said. Look at
Yeah.
Washington. Um,
Hmm.
no, I agree. I mean, I think first off, Mark should stay patient. It's going to be him wanting that quarterback and them to develop it. It's still his franchise. He's got to still have a leader lead that franchise. I know he don't like fucking Gino after everything that went down last year. Um, so I would think for sure he's going to try to get a quarterback here. Last question. If this works, are the Raiders contenders in 3 years or just the Chargers with better branding?
Contenders for what? Playoffs or Super Bowl? What are you talking about?
Contenders in 3 years for playoffs or Super Bowl.
Okay. I think it's Austin's turn to go first.
Ozzy.
Okay, no problem. I'll my going first. I think so. I think if we do things the right way, I mean, like if we build the culture, we'll start establishing the culture. I shouldn't say build the culture because culture takes time to build, but we start establishing the culture in year 1 and 2, and then and the accountability and stuff, and then the development is there from the coaches, everyone from the head coach to the OCs and DCs and the position coaches. Like if the development is there and the players, and we draft, and Swiatek continues to draft well and pick up good free agents that fit the mold, then I definitely think we can at least be contending for a playoff in year 3. I don't think it should be an expectation though. It could be maybe it's year 4. I mean, look at Gruden was like year 4 when the team finally went to the playoffs again. So should it be playoffs in year 3? I say no. Is it a possibility? Then I'll say yes. But we have to hit on everything for it to be a possibility.
Well, that's facts. What do you think? What do you think, Mike?
I definitely think there's a possibility. I just, there's a lot of ifs involved, but I think I kind of answered this question in my last. Maybe I ran on a little bit too much in my last answer. I kind of ran into
I was gonna be like, hey, hold on, save that for it.
Sorry about that, man. I didn't know that was the next
It's all
question.
good.
But yeah, I definitely think by year three, we have I think we have a decent possibility of making a run for the playoffs. I yeah, I do. I already answered it, so sorry about that, Dustin. I didn't know.
Oh, it's all good. Shit, I ain't worried.
I ran on.
I would say in 3 years we would expect to at least be getting ready to start pushing the playoffs. Like that's what I would hope. At least show we're right there, or at least getting there and get pushed out or something of that factor. Like you want to show in year 3 that you have growth, and with that coaching staff and development. I mean, development goes so far for so long until you have to start producing. So for me, I don't want to end up like the Chargers, dude. I can tell you that. I don't want to look okay at certain games and then just fucking lose the first game, period. So I don't want to do that at all. But I don't know. That's the last question for the night. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about, or any other questions?
I can't think of anything.
So I'll just add one thing. I think as a fan base, whoever we get as the head coach and everything, we just have to be patient. And not just that, we have to start being realistic about expectations on certain players and stuff like that. And not just parrot what media or whatever says, actually just look into. Sometimes it's it's not hard to look into things yourself. Because one thing I have noticed that really I don't know, pisses me off sometimes, I guess I could say, is when people start pushing out certain narratives that starts floating around, and then it's like a infectious fucking disease on our fan base, and then it causes fucking division and all kinds of other problems. That shit just kind of pisses me off. So it's all right to everyone to have their opinion and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. Like a guy, hate a guy, whatever, doesn't matter. But we got to stop putting certain individuals on pedestals and then discrediting other players, saying they're crap or whatever when the production is there or whatever. And then the other thing is we've got to be patient with our coaching. Give them time to understand that it's going to get worse before it gets better, so to speak. And give it time to be built up. So sometimes having patience and building things the right way, building a strong foundation means your house is going to last the next 100 years. You build a fucking, some of the cheap housing they build nowadays where it's built out of fucking lesser materials and shit, and that shit's fucking rebuilt in the next 10 years. That's how we got to kind of look at it. We got to look at building a strong foundation and shit first, and then build shit the right way and have patience about it. That's what I'd add.
Facts. I mean, if you don't have patience, man, you're never going to build a winning team.
That's facts.
I mean, look at Steelers, look at Packers, look at certain teams, man. They keep the same coaches for years and allow them to develop, let them be good coaches, and they more times than not do, So I keep saying you're just product of the system. You guys have anything else or have anything you want to bring up? Otherwise, we're going to end it here.
I can't think of anything.
Hell yeah. And the other thing I like is I like coming up with questions, dude, about multiple different deals. And I like having the panels and being able to go through more of a questionnaire on the people. That way we all get to learn something or know something or just see how we all view these deals. Like, this is how you should be talking about your team. You should be trying to figure out scenarios, situations. That way, when you're talking about it through chats or other places or with people, you're coming with common fucking sense conversations, not some bullshit, get on your knees and suck a fucking guy off conversations. I mean, those are they're the worst.
Out of my ass.
Yeah, they just come up with dumb shit. They have no logic, no nothing to their conversations. I mean, just take a little bit of time, study it, dude. I mean, you can find a lot of the information pretty easily.
Hey, I can help you nowadays.
If you want to look. If you don't want to look, you're not going to find nothing. So that's when you just become a product of the system. You go to chats, you listen to what other people tell you, and then you mimic that shit. Like, you can't do that. You got to question what we're doing, who we're getting. Just because someone don't like your take or agree with, oh, I want Chambers over for now. I don't give a fuck. I didn't ask them. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. They don't like it. That's their opinion. I can care less. Like, I think people need to open up their mind more versus just getting so locked in they get blind to one thing. Don't be afraid to question yourself. Don't be
Facts.
afraid to ask why, or go find out for yourself why. So I've always said I've always been that guy. Like, let me research it. I come back and I'll be like, yeah or no. If I don't know, I'm not going to tell you. Sure in the hell ain't entering that conversation. So, but like I said, here I can see us going either way. Take him or don't. I don't think either way it hurts us. I think if he has Webb and Clint, or Webb and Kingsbury, I don't see how you're getting a better tandem to develop the quarterback. I don't know any other better tandem out there. Just my opinion, but I
Facts.
research a lot of these dudes, man, and I don't know if we're sitting here saying that Matt LaFleur is going to do it. We might as well just find a cliff and jump off it. Like, we might as well jump off that motherfucker. So either way, like I've said, I really do appreciate you guys all showing up, man. We'll see what goes on tomorrow. We'll see what kind of news comes out, if we'll go live or we'll just wait a few days. But again, it'll just be topic based off of what's going. I strongly believe this can most definitely be a realistic option here. I strongly believe it. So I don't have any issue with this coaching staff being the coaches. I have zero issue with it. I think that would be a really good staff for years to come. And I don't have an issue if they have Clint. I would prefer this one. This would be my class that I would want. Jim Leonard, Kubiak, or Kingsbury, and Webb. I would love that to be the face of the Raiders. If they choose to go with Kubiak, then so be it. He's a little weird looking motherfucker, and we'll just hopefully make sure he can get it done. So outside of that, if you guys don't have much more to say, you guys give a shout out before we bounce out of here, and then we'll bounce out.
Shout out to the chat, man, for hanging with us. We've been on for like what, 3.5 hours, something like
Yeah.
that, maybe a little longer. Thanks for hanging out with us and throwing out your chats. I've been trying to read the chats more tonight, and a lot of really cool comments in there. So you guys are awesome. Dustin, thanks for letting me be on your show. Aussie, it's always great talking to you as well. Rather than that, just the chat, man. You guys rock.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that was on the panel tonight. Shout out to everyone that joined in the chat. I've noticed that lately we've getting a lot of people in the chat. Appreciate you guys being in the chat and posting all your questions and stuff in there. And shout out to anyone who watches the replay. Don't forget to comment if you watch the replay.
Hell yeah. I ain't gonna lie, dude. There'd be 30, 40 dudes up in here in that chat at most times, and your average around 20, 25. I props to all you guys, man. Really do appreciate it. Props to everybody in the chat that are talking and having conversations. I've always said, man, fill your opinions, dude. Throw them out there. Not everybody's gonna always agree with it, but we don't need to, force it down someone's neck either. You can put it out there. People can accept it for whatever they want. You shouldn't need to justify your take to somebody else. We talk on here to just try to talk out all scenarios, have conversations, things of those factors. I think it's a really good deal. But again, like I said, I really do appreciate all you guys. Like, we got Lou, Frank, Herb Leonard, we got Drox, we got Raider Nation. We got
Rosetown.
Town. We got
First
Daniel.
Town's been with us for quite a while. Jason Raiders First Towns has been with us for quite a while.
Yep, frickin' Daniel Scott. I mean, like you just said, Raiders down, Raiders first down. I mean, we got a lot of people here, so really do appreciate it. Who is this guy right here? Chi. I mean, appreciate all you guys, man. So there's a lot. I'm not going to try to go through all that, but like I said, I really do appreciate all you guys, man, and appreciate you guys commenting. We'll try to come live again tomorrow, depending on what type of news happens or if any news happens. And if not, then we'll just have to wait, and then we'll be right back, So we can only go through so many scenarios. I mean, we can go through a Clint Kubiak scenario tomorrow. I can go through that and see who he would be as a defensive coordinator and his OC, and we can most definitely talk about that. I don't have an issue talking about all kinds because I just want to be more educated on if somebody comes. I'm not going to do Jesse's or Euro. I mean, I've done Euros before because I like him. I don't like Jesse. I mean, if we get Jesse as a head coach, I'm going to be disappointed. Like, I'm just going to be dead ass honest. Like, I'm going to be disappointed. But at the end of the day, I'm going to trust what they want to do. I'm going to trust their system. But I would be absolutely disappointed if we went with Jesse Minster or Chris Shula or any guy from the Rams. I'll just be honest. I feel like you got to either get Webb or you got to get fucking Clint. That's just my personal opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right, but that's who I think you need to target in this deal for sure. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out, Raider Nation.
Good night, everybody.
Peace out, everyone.